again. Listen, I'm thinking of taking a whirlpool. Want to join me?
Can't. I'm getting a massage in 10 minutes.
From Hank?
Yeah.
Ooh, lucky you.
Hey, pal. There's been an accident in the gym. I need your help.
Who had the accident?
You did.
You're not Hank.
Hank couldn't make it tonight. I'm here to do you instead.
Wait, maybe I should reschedule.
Why bother? You're here already, Miss Nichols.
Mary.
Yes, Mary. Oh, my. You're so tense, Mary. You know, too much tension isn't good.
I do need to relax more.
That can be arranged. Permanently. Now it's time for me to relax and wait for the morning headlines. I don't believe it.
What's that?
Oh, there's a story in here about some poor girl who gets strangled in the health club. This newspaper buries it on page 9. I thought this would be more front page stuff.
You know how many people get murdered in this city every year? You gotta do more than die these days to make the front page. You gotta be famous. See? Like this guy. It's hotshots like him get all the press.
Test case you pulled out of your sleeve really saved us.
What test case? White hat is dead to rights. When all else fails, remember the first rule of jurisprudence. When in doubt, fake it.
Hi.
Hello, Elizabeth.
I think it's time for lunch.
I think I'll go with you. Oh, Chris,
That's okay. I already ate.
I'll buy you dessert.
Oh.
I've always hated surprises. Till now.
Sometimes you have to do things on the spur of the moment before the moment gets away from you.
What kind of moment are we talking about?
Okay. Miss Gay and Miss Chapman, I'm just trying to prove a point. You left your front door open. Jim Jordan, Invincible Alarm Systems.
I've got a neighborhood patrol service. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, sure. I know. They come around once or twice a day. What about the alarms on your window or your doors? Are they concerned about your personal protection?
Now, what would I need protection from?
People like me.
You were right.
About what?
That I'd know when to come back.
Been through a lot. Drugged, brainwashed, and thinking that you'd murdered somebody.
Well, I wasn't brainwashed into believing that I loved you.
Saved your life, Elizabeth. Some people confuse gratitude with love.
Not me. I was so sure I even proposed.
I wanted to say yes when you proposed to me. But it wouldn't have been fair. I had to make sure that it's what you really wanted.
Now?
I'm sure. I very much want to marry you. Just hope you know what you're getting.
A man that I love very much. A man that I want to grow old with.
A man who might not grow very old because of the line of work he's in.
No one says that you have to be a private investigator, Matt.
Something inside me tells me that I have to, Elizabeth.
Is there room in there for a job and me too?
Right now, it's all yours. Oh, boy. Excuse me. Houston.
Glad to catch you in. I hope I didn't interrupt anything important.
Well, as a matter of fact,
You and I, we have a lot of work to do together.
who is this?
Our name's not important. I want you to think of me as your new best buddy.
Best buddy? Yeah, look, do I know you?
No, but you so will. Yeah, you're gonna make me famous. You know what? We're gonna make history together.
Right. Well, why don't you get started without me, pal?
I already have. Well, what's the sense of committing a murder if no one wants to hear about it? I thought that would get your attention.
If this is a practical joke, it's not very funny.
And Chapman isn't laughing either. In fact, her remains are currently on display in a kitchen at 1627 Evergreen Circle.
Finding these on dead bodies is becoming a bad habit. Second one in 2 days. Woman strangled to death while getting a massage at a health club. Found one of these on the body. Seems like your friend's leaving it as a calling card.
He's not my friend.
You said he called you his best buddy.
I am telling you, I don't know who he is.
Then why did he call you on the phone and tell you about a murder he just committed?
Believe me, if I knew who it was, I would tell you.
Well, we got 2 dead bodies with no apparent connection, except for a piece of playing card. Next time your buddy calls, you ask him what the hell it means. Better yet, have him make contact with me directly. Save me the trouble of dealing with you.
Doesn't seem to me like you've been leveling with us.
Who are you?
Ken Johnson, stringer for the Tribune.
You get your statement at the press conference in the morning.
Will it also include the fact that Mr. Houston here has been in touch with the killer?
That's off the record.
Not anymore, it isn't. Tell me, Mr. Houston, exactly what is your involvement with this case?
I'm beginning to wonder about that myself. Excuse me, please.
Perhaps I'll be around and you'll find out.
To the obviously very happy couple.
May you always remain so.
I'll drink to that.
Anything wrong?
No.
You wouldn't be jealous by any chance?
Roy, don't be silly. You know me better than that. Houston Investigations.
Matt Houston, please. Tell him his, buddy is calling.
Just a moment.
Houston, telephone. Something about your buddy.
What do you want?
Well, I just called to say thanks. I told you we'd make history together. Did you see this morning's paper? I'm famous.
Look, you can't be famous without a name.
That would be too easy. No. 2 down, 3 to go. Then everybody will know my name. I left you clues.
The pieces of the playing cards, what do they mean?
I can't tell you, Houston. It would ruin all the fun.
Look, why are you doing this?
I told you, Houston. With your help, I'm going to become the world's most famous murderer. Be talking to you, buddy.
Well, whoever this guy is, he seems to have grown quite attached to you.
Like a bad rash that won't go away.
And you are going to keep right on scratching. You are going to be there for him, my friend. You're going to take his phone calls, play along with him. My men will be watching and listening in every step of the way, for as long as it takes.
Wait, I'm in the middle of planning a wedding.
You are also in the middle of a murder investigation. Now look, Houston. No one forced you to be a hotshot PI, or Elizabeth to marry one.
Such a romantic. Thank you for being so understanding.
Well, it's your job. I don't have much choice.
Then you really don't mind?
Well, I must confess that having dinner with 2 plainclothes policemen breathing down my neck is not exactly my idea of a romantic evening.
Well, I'll tell you what. It just so happens that I have a very romantic dessert plan.
Pretty sweet.
Non-caloric, too.
Yeah.
I want you to just step inside, ma'am, and I'll have room service bring you full order.
Tonya, Roy. If there's any connection between those 2 girls that eluded us, checked everything. Common friends, the schools they went to, the kind of car they drive, right down to where they get their hair done.
Well, the same, Michael. There's something about those 2 names that bothers me.
Well, I hope it comes to you before there's a 3rd.
I thought that we ought to cover this place as well as the office. I came down to see that they didn't disturb things too much.
I think they already have.
Eilish.
Mr. Booth. Nice to see you again. How long has it been since you left that little theater group? 3, 4 years?
5. 5 years.
I can't believe it. What'd you do? Get yourself an honest job?
Are you kidding? Acting's my life. Oh, I had a long run up north, a regional theater group. One flew over the cuckoo's nest.
Hey, great. Well, what can I do for you today?
Oh, I'd like to see a bellman's uniform. A green with some gold piping. Something upper class. Ritzy, you know what I mean?
Got just a ticket.
Oh, Eilish. Do you mind if I use your phone?
No, go right ahead. It'll take me a couple of minutes to pull all the stuff.
Great. I gotta call a buddy.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Room service you ordered last night and never got.
Yeah, well, you just set it down on the bed, boy. I want to be alone.
No, you don't. No, you don't. That's your continental breakfast. This here is your American plan, complete with heavy groveling and supplication. Apologize for my other house guests.
Well, I don't know whether I accept your apology. How about a little bit more of that groveling? Or was that supplication?
I can't remember. Look, why don't you and I get on my boat, and we'll repel all the borders and sail to a tropical island.
Hawaii?
No, Catalina. I know a secluded cove over there where nobody can find us. We'll disconnect the radio and have a very romantic...
Houston! Answer it.
Hello.
I hope I'm not disturbing you.
Yes, you are.
I thought I'd be disturbing you even more if I didn't tell you about victim number 3.
I'm listening.
You'll find her at 510 Beckett Lane. I might even wait for you, buddy.
Well, handle it, Houston. You go ahead and take your cruise. Roy and I ride down there and make sure your buddy's well taken care of. Relax, my friend. You earned it.
Be in Catalina in about 2 hours. I'll put us there at just about sunset, just in time for cocktails. Houston.
I'm glad you didn't follow your police friends, buddy. They seem to be a bit confused. Seems they've come to the wrong address. But I've saved the real one for you. Now, if you hurry, you may be able to save the life of victim number 3. A lady named Liz Stride works at the Westlake Plaza Hotel. Oh, but not for long.
Elizabeth, he sent the police to the wrong place. I've got to try and stop him. Meet me at my office, all right?
I don't know if I can.
I want the Jackson table to have 12 chairs, impeccable service. Table number 3. Do you understand that? Thank you so much.
Miss Stride, there's a man down the lobby complaining he's been overcharged for room service.
Lead the way.
Okay.
Are you new here?
Oh, no, Pete, he has the flu, so I'm filling in for him today. Miss Stride, I really envy you. Making a living, helping people out, trying to solve their problems and all.
There's one problem with my job. Where do I go to get my problem solved?
Your problems? Maybe I can help. No, I'm serious. Try me.
Okay. I need a good, long rest.
Think that can be arranged?
you go.
Thank you. You can use it.
Is Elizabeth here?
She was. She left something for you.
Dearest Matt, I'm sorry I didn't wait for you, but I need some time alone. I love you, but I know I have to share you with your work, and I'm just not sure I can. Does love always hurt this much? Elizabeth.
Care to talk about it? Houston, this is me you're not talking to.
I don't know, CJ. It seems like I'm getting all my priorities mixed up. And as a result, I'm losing Elizabeth.
I think I know how you feel.
What are you talking about?
Houston, please don't take this the wrong way. Because I really couldn't be happier for you. It's not true. I could be. But listen, Elizabeth is a lovely girl, and I like her a lot. It's just that I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm a little bit jealous.
The same way I will be jealous the day you walk down the aisle.
You and Roy and I have been a team for a long time. I think the thing that's scary to me is that it's all going to change now.
CJ, what we have, we'll always have. And if things do change, it'll be for the better, I promise you that. Come on.
Okay, Mike. Thank you. Well, looks like we're closing in on our killer. Hoyt's lab boys have finally been able to piece together that playing card. Jack of Hearts.
That means we're closer?
At least we know what he's calling himself.
Jack? Houston.
In case you hadn't noticed, we made front page again, buddy. But I must admit, they're saying nasty things about you.
Look, I am gonna bust you.
You're running out of time. There's only 2 to go.
I know what you look like now.
Yeah, but you still don't know who I am.
We're getting closer all the time. Jack.
So you are. Well, I guess you don't need my help anymore. And here I was going to tell you who the next victim was going to be. But, hey, you should be able to figure that out by now, huh?
Why don't you just come after me?
Because you're not on my list. Now, you better hurry. She gets off work in a couple of hours. Then there'll only be 1 to go.
Wasn't on the phone long enough to get a trace.
I don't think we're going to need it. I think I know exactly who our killer is. The only trouble is, Hoyt's never going to believe it.
Jack the Ripper?
Not the real Jack the Ripper, just a very clever copycat.
World's most famous murderer got that way by taunting the police with his crimes. He used to write him letters signed Jack.
Only this guy leaves pieces of the Jack from a deck of playing cards to identify himself.
Still sounds a bit far-fetched.
That's because you haven't heard it all.
And this maniac keeps calling me up on the phone and telling me he's going to kill 5 women, then he's through.
The Ripper killed 5 women. Names of his first 3 victims were Mary Kelly, Ann Chapman, and Liz Stride.
Killing girls with the same name.
And in the same order. That's why he told us we could figure out who his next victim was going to be.
What is the 4th girl's name?
Catherine Eddowes.
CJ is working with Baby right now to find out if there really is Catherine Eddowes in Los Angeles.
And if there is, let's hope that we find her before he does.
Oh, thanks, Catherine. You know, like I was telling you, that's some great big smile you've got.
Do you really think I've got what it takes to be a model?
Oh, absolutely.
Seriously?
Would I lie to you? When you get off work, I got a studio just a couple of blocks from here. Let's say we pop over and let my partners take a look at you.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I don't really know you.
What's to know? You can call me Jack.
We'll be right down. This had better be the right girl.
CJ said Baby could only dig up 2 Catherines with last names anything like Eddowes. One of them lives in a retirement home in the valley.
The other one works as a waitress at a place called the Rusty Nail.
Then he can still be going after the old lady.
Except when the killer called me, he told me his next victim would be getting off work in a couple of hours. People who live in retirement homes don't work.
Let's move it, Houston.
In a minute, Hoyt.
Houston! This is no time for a date.
I said in a minute.
Bad timing, huh?
Seems like the story of our life, huh? How'd you know where to find me?
CJ told me. Matt, I've had some time to think. And what you said about having enough room in your life for your job and a wife.
There is.
I'm not sure about that. Look at us now. You're so wrapped up in this case, you don't even have time to sleep, let alone have any time for another person in your life.
Look, this is all gonna be better when it's over, I promise you.
Don't make promises you can't keep. Your job is all-encompassing. If you continue it, this will just happen again and again.
Houston!
Don't ask me to choose right now, please. I can't.
Me, a model? Oh, I just can't believe it. Do you go out and find strange women like this very often?
No, not really. Actually, I can only recall 3 other times. Oh, it's only a shortcut. So...
ambulance.
It's done.
Yeah, well, at least the telephone pole didn't fall on it, you know?
Perhaps you should think about taking a bus the next time.
I'm fine, really.
Next time? There might be no next time.
Right.
Well, we ID'd your buddy Jack.
His real name is Adam Booth, a former actor. A diagnosed schizophrenic. Had trouble separating the parts he played from reality.
Got him 5 years in a mental institution. Somebody made the mistake of judging him sane. They released him 2 months ago.
His parting words were he had finally found a role that was going to make him the world's most famous actor.
Jack the Ripper.
Looks like he's taking his final curtain call. Doctors say he's in a coma.
Probably for the best. It's already wrecked enough lives.
Physician, heal thyself.
Hello, Matt. Or goodbye.
Going somewhere?
Away. You made your choice. I'm making mine.
We caught the killer, Elizabeth. It's all over.
Until the next time. I can't squeeze my life in between your cases, Matt. I tried and I just can't.
Neither can I. That's why I'm quitting. For good.
I don't want you to do that. Not just for me.
It's for me, too. For both of us. You mean more to me than anything in my life. I need you.
I need you.
Look, let's just get the whole thing settled right now, this afternoon. We'll get married. I know it's your...
Wait a second. What about the wedding plans, the invitations?
Well, forget about all that. The important people are going to be there.
You don't waste any time, do you?
Wasted too much time already.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here to join this man and this woman in holy wedlock. If any man can show just cause why this couple should not lawfully be joined together, let him speak now or forever hold his peace.
I think that's my cue. Nice to see you, buddy. Too bad you kept me from killing that Catherine Eddowes. 'Cause now, I'm gonna have to kill someone else.
No!
Perhaps you're right. Kidnapping her. It'll make front page for sure. Who knows, it might even be better than another murder.
Look, this is between you and me. Let her go.
You ruined my plan, Houston. I'm gonna return the favor. You know, my phone calls used to bug you, buddy. Well, now I think you'll be just begging to hear from me. Is it over already? It is for you.
It's a gorgeous evening.
We're avoiding talking about...
And we have been. Ever since our almost wedding.
We thought the problem was that I couldn't separate my job and my life.
Matt, your job is your life.
I wanted both. I really did. And when we tried it, you almost died because of it, and I can't take that chance again.
I know. Walking away from you is the hardest thing I've ever done.
Oh, God, I love you.
We're here with people from all over the world, celebrities, movie stars, business people. All here for the christening of the largest supertanker ever launched here in the United States, and it's one of quite an innovative design, too. And all here waiting for the man who made all of this possible, international billionaire Niccolo Gambaccini. Some of the guests are arriving now. Ah, it's Karen Ann Douglas, the queen of American popular music, with her daughter Jennifer. Karen Ann, can you talk with us for just a moment?
Hi, how are you?
I'm just fine, thank you. I'm wondering, I just heard that your latest album went platinum in just a couple of weeks. Anything to say about that?
Well, I'm very happy about it, and I'm so glad that everyone likes it.
Just one more question. Your name's been linked romantically with that of Mr. Gambaccini for many years now. Is there any truth to that?
What kind of question is that to ask? You people go around groping for interviews, and you ask us something stupid like that. Now get that mic out of my face before I shove it in your mouth.
That was Cody Wall, Karen Ann Douglas's agent, attorney, and goodwill ambassador. This looks like Mr. Gambaccini arriving right now. And I believe that's his daughter Serena with him. It looks as though they're having one of their internationally famous arguments right here on live television. Excuse me, Signorina Gambaccini, could I talk to you for just one moment?
Yes. Stai zitta, la gente va.
Please, just one quick question.
Not now, sorry.
Morning.
But
Say
what?
goodbye.
I'll see you in hell.
Dear, one of their internationally famous arguments. I wonder who this is. Excuse me, sir. Could you tell us who you are?
Nobody, man. Wildcat Callahan's name. I got $10 million invested in that big sucker. I want to see if she floats.
Oh, well, that was Wildcat Callahan, and looks like we're about to start.
Oh, my dear.
Volevo usare l'annata della sua nascita. You knew that, didn't you? Foolish games you play with me.
Gutbuster don't want to be rode.
There's no way. Fact is, I'd just as soon forget the bet. That's the truth.
Me too, just out of sheer human kindness.
Yeah, well, Bo, the last kind thing you ever did was run away from home. Now, I know what you fellas are doing. You're trying to get me to bump the bet from $5 to $10.
Kick the bet, me? You think I'm trying to do that?
Well, of course that's what you're doing, and you too.
I'm not that kind of person no more. Don't you know I've been born again?
But the trouble with you being born again, Lamar, is you came back as you. Yeah, let's take a look at this horse. So in other words, even though you're not trying to do it, it'd be perfectly all right if we did kick that bet from $5 to $10.
You're on.
Yeah, uh-huh.
You want to know who I am? I'm C.J. Parsons. That's me in the pickup. My place is about 5 miles down the road from Houston's. Actually, I've known Houston most of my life, or so it seems. But more about that later. Houston, I gotta talk to you.
Tell me about it later, CJ. I'm about to ride me a horse.
You gonna put your body on that?
Well, that's my plan.
What's the bet? I'll take half.
How little faith y'all have in me, you know? I mean, I got away with animals.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
Turn him out.
Houston, you all right?
That is a mean horse. CJ, next time you got something to tell me, please don't take no for an answer.
Hey, if you want to go for 15, the horse is willing.
Smile good, buddy.
CJ, the first sign of insanity is a laughing loser. Oh.
Did that hurt?
No. No.
He's gonna get us for this. Yeah, I know.
Houston was all city, all state, all everything when he was a kid. He quarterbacked Rice in the Cotton Bowl the year they beat SMU by throwing a 60-yard touchdown bomb in the last 6 seconds. And then he really stuck it to him by running the ball in himself for the conversion. Houston's a Texan through and through, and most of his friends and business associates are Texans, including me. About the only time I can remember not being around was when I went up to Harvard Law School. But then I came back, paid my dues in his conglomerate for a while, and ended up pretty much helping him to run his empire. And it's an empire that might never have existed, except for the fact that he had a little problem with his daddy. Something about wanting to make it on his own. So, he packed up and left the Lone Star State and came to the state of the stars. Houston runs his empire from a penthouse office that sits on top of a building he built in downtown Los Angeles. The business includes everything from diamond mines to soybean futures, a couple little oil companies here and there, and one more. One of the businesses Houston is in is private investigation. Actually, it's not so much a business as it is a hobby. And like everything else in the world that Houston does, like the fortune cookie said, he does his hobby very, very well. Oh, Houston, by the way, while you were climbing that dumb mountain, somebody killed Niccolo Gambaccini.
Kill?
And killed is polite, murder is more accurate.
Well, when and how?
Well, down at the shipyard, somebody put a couple of ounces of nitroglycerin in his champagne.
Well, I barely knew the man.
How well did you know the daughter?
Well, I owned a few shares once.
That well, huh?
Look, CJ, we shared a couple kisses, but it was certainly nothing to tell your mama about.
Well, now, Houston, if you and I shared a couple of kisses, I can guarantee I'd never tell my mama about it. I'd tell a few of my best friends, but never my mama.
Look, CJ, I want you to drop everything and get me one of those mechanical bucking Broncos, and I want it here in a couple hours. Well, I'm out $10 and I want it back.
Houston, you want to spend a couple of $1,000 on a mechanical horse to make back $10?
That's the principle of the thing, CJ. Have them put it right here.
Okay, Houston, but meanwhile, before I do that, you've got another problem. The front office called this morning, and Ms. Gambaccini is upstairs with her fuse lit. Now, she's been there for hours, and she's not going to leave until she talks to you. Better cock your pistols.
Don't you worry about a thing, darling, because I'm going to be my own sweet Texas self, and I'm going to charm the socks off her. If that doesn't work, I'll think something else. I mean, think about it, CJ. The poor girl's probably in a state of shock. I mean, she's probably been crying all night.
Coffee. I'm leaving, that's it.
Would you like some coffee?
No, nothing. No, nothing. I'm leaving.
Houston. Amore, come sta?
Look, I'm real sorry about your dad. If there's anything I can do, you be sure and let me know. Turn off your motor. Look, I didn't know your father very well, but he was alive yesterday, so one of us ought to show a little respect here.
You're so Texan.
Yes, I am.
It's charming.
Yes, he is.
Remember, Antibes, the Hotel de Cap? Of course, you were much more affectionate then.
Yeah, well, that was then, Serena.
Do you live or work here?
Sometimes both.
Very nice. Very nice. But, you know, I'm not sure whether there's a man with a lot of little boy in him here or the other way around.
Okay, sweet thing. I've got all day, so if you want to shoot the breeze, that's fine with me. Because I'm not the one that's in trouble here.
Who said I was in trouble?
I did.
Is this yours?
Yep.
It's cute. I am told you're the best private investigator around. I might want to hire you. Grazie. There's a chance the police will arrest me for the murder of my father. And just for the record, I didn't do it.
Say it again.
I did not kill him.
Yeah, it sounded better the second time round. I think it was the way you hit the word not. Got that kind of hurt, self-righteous look in your eye.
You must believe me.
Serena, my ears are trained not to believe much you say.
Okay, all right. So I've lied to you before. And probably I will lie to you again. But not this time. I did not kill him. This one time you must believe me.
Yeah, we'll see. Let's go inside.
Amore. Amore, you don't believe me, do you? My father made people crawl. He would dangle diamonds in front of women's faces so that they would do whatever he wanted them to. Things that would haunt them for the rest of their lives. He was disgusting. I hated him, and he knew I hated him.
Well, you didn't hate your inheritance.
I don't have one. My trust fund, and that's all. Do you know what he did? He put a clause in his will that if he should die in any way other than natural causes, I mean, in an accident or in any questionable way, his estate automatically goes into long-term probate. I would have to wait 10 years before I see a penny. Now tell me, why would I kill him, eh? Why?
You know I'll check this out, don't you?
Houston, I would have to wait years before I inherit anything, darling. I'm not a fool. All I'd have to do is wait until he died naturally.
Naturally.
The man was crazy. Pazzo. He made everybody around him crazy.
Lady Earth is the insane asylum of the universe. Maybe that's why UFOs don't want to land here. Look, if you got a bodyguard...
Not with me in Rome. Besides, they're boring.
You know anyone who'd want to see you dead?
What are you saying?
Well, I'm just asking questions. See, that's how I know I'm a detective.
Will you help me?
Serena, I will help you in every way I can. But you better be telling me the truth or I'm going to dance all over you.
I'll give you anything.
Anything?
Yes, anything.
Well, I already have all the money I want, and besides, you can only wear one pair of boots at a time, so we'll think of something else. Come on. CJ, we're taking Ms. Gambaccini on as client.
Are we? What a nice surprise. Not now, Mary.
Thank you, darling. You know, things can be like old time if you want.
Yeah, well, I'm going to try and find out who killed your father. I'm not sure that's going to help much, but that's what we're going to do. Now, where are you staying?
Century Plaza.
Well, I'll tell you what. On your way back over there, why don't you stop by Children's Hospital? Because you just might want to build a wing over there right next to mine when this is all over. I knew we'd think something.
Yes, of course. Ciao, darling.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. First 5 minutes on the case, Serena Gambaccini in my office. I saw a man across the street on the roof with what looked like a rifle wrapped in cloth. Probably not too young, but his reflexes were good when he ducked behind cover when he thought I was looking. Now, the question is, was he out to kill Serena, or was he out to kill me? Answer. Me.
Some people don't like Houston a lot, but if someone's out to kill him, they better be darn sure they get the job done. Because he doesn't like it too much when someone tries to cancel his vote the hard way. Other people like Houston a lot. Some of us like him a lot more than a lot. But that's another story.
Matt, I have important papers. You must see them.
Latest quotes from New York and Zurich. I need answers on 2 by tonight.
Mrs. Harrington said you might look in on her fundraiser, and your tailor said you should come in for a measurement.
Hold it. Don't move. I've got about 400 things that need signing right now.
Later, Murray, I just took on the Gambaccini case. You probably heard about it yesterday?
I heard. I'm very sympathetic. If you and CJ want to break this company playing detective, that's up to you. But right now, Houston, we have got business to do. This stack just bought this stack, and in between, you'll notice there's nothing.
Yeah, we'll just have to deal with all this later, Murray, except for that one. I want you to call London, tell them to buy. If they ask how much, you tell them till I go broke or I own the company. Heard Howard Hughes say that once. Oh, thank you, Murray.
You ready for some baby talk?
You betcha. Hello, baby. She loves me. How do you spell Gambaccini?
Gambaccini, 2 C's, 1 N.
CJ, won't you do this for me, all right? Okay, down to business. Now, 1, I want to know all about his will. 2, I want to know who all was at the ship's christening, who all was supposed to be there and didn't show up, and where they've been since then. 3, I want to know where the nitro came from, and who supplied the champagne that blew up. Somebody slipped him a bad year.
Just joking, baby. 4.
4, I want to know all about Mr. Gambaccini's financial deals, who wins, who loses, all that kind of stuff. And I want to know exactly how much that man was worth.
Gambaccini, worth.
5, call my tailor. He ruined my suit. Keep on working, see what you come up with. I'll be down at the boat.
Sure wish I could go with you.
I wish you could, too.
Baby makes 3.
Well, look, I'll tell you what. Now, come on, I'll talk to you later. Bye now, girls. Slim, one of these days you're gonna go that extra ½ inch and I'm gonna be needing new kneecaps.
No way. The kid's got it under control all the time. Now, I just finished turbocharging her. She's a beauty, huh?
Yeah. You know, sometimes I wonder if I'm buying these things for me or for you.
Oh, just don't wreck this one, will ya? Fender and Body Works out of my line.
Not completely.
Houston, are we ever going back?
You still miss Texas?
But not as much. I started surfing.
They do have a big ocean here.
Some say bigger than the whole state of Texas.
Yeah, well, you know how they exaggerate out here.
When Houston first got to L.A., he met Vince Novelli, Lieutenant Vince Novelli, LAPD. They had a few go-arounds in the beginning, but before long, he became one of Houston's best friends.
Billionaire killed in champagne explosion. Film at 11.
You say, Ace. No one's left to Gambaccini after that?
Shoelaces?
1 shoelace. Whom are you representing?
Whom? Well, whom I'm representing is Serena Gambaccini. That's whom.
It's too bad. Hey, there's an echo in here.
What?
I said there's an echo in here.
I can't hear you, Vince. There's an echo in here.
You really felt you had to say that, huh?
I'm weak, Vince. Come on, I'll make it up. Someone tried to take a shot at me today.
Anybody I know?
Probably not. He was an amateur. I found a matchbook with the matches pulled off the left-hand side, so whoever he was left-handed.
Well, maybe he was a professional acting like an amateur, try to throw you off.
No, he was an amateur. If he was a pro, I'd be dead.
He was an amateur.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Why can't I do this?
I don't know, Vince. Maybe you need glasses.
You know, when you're shot at, you're supposed to let the law know, and that's like a given.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Vince, so now you're informed.
Think it's got anything to do with Gambaccini?
Well, it does seem awful coincidental that the minute Serena takes me on the case, someone takes a pot shot at me.
Well, yeah, on the other hand, you only have 200 or 300 ex-cons that have grudges going with you, not to mention a few husbands. You know, could be it's not related.
Well, it could be that it is.
Well, you never know.
Look, Vince, when you're standing on Fifth Avenue on St. Patrick's Day, I don't believe you have a right to be surprised if the parade passed by.
Wish I had said that.
So do I.
Including Serena, I've cut 4 suspects out of the herd because they all had 2 things in common. They all invested in the ship and they were all at the christening.
Well,
Karen Ann Douglas. She invested in the ship and she's been Gambaccini's mistress for the last couple of years now.
Who's that with her?
That's Jennifer, her daughter. Karen Ann's a one and only.
Cody Wall. One of the great human beings of our time.
He invested too. And not only is he Karen Ann's agent as well as her lawyer, she is his only client.
Next.
Man, Wildcat Callahan's name. I got $10 million.
Wildcat? Is he in L.A.?
Yep. And he invested too. Fact is, Houston, they all had a piece of the action. It's gonna take a while to figure out how many billions the billionaire had. But I can tell you this much. He had it spread from here to Bangkok. I'll work on it.
Vince, tell me something I don't know about Gambaccini.
Well, he was having an affair with a young mamselle in Paris a couple of weeks ago.
That's news?
Not the affair, maybe, but something was getting messy about it because Gambaccini made videotapes of the two of them together, only the lady didn't know about it.
Yeah, he's a real nice dude.
One of the all-time best. So I figure whoever the lady is, she's a prime suspect. She wants to take back or revenge or something.
Well, you guys figure all this out this morning? You're moving pretty fast on this thing.
Well, I'm going to tell you something, Ace. If we don't get something concrete real soon, I'm in big trouble. I can only hold these people for 48 hours, then they're going to split to the 4 winds. You bet I'm moving fast.
Yeah, well...
You know, we're figuring your client is the #1 suspect, don't you?
Oh, Vince, that's because you guys don't have any imagination.
No, of course not. We don't have any imagination. Do you know that she was about to be cut out of her father's billion-dollar will completely?
No.
Did you know she tried to kill him in Paris a couple of weeks ago before he could change it? When the French police are trying to extradite her for attempted murder?
No.
Well, did you know she was supposed to be standing at his side during the christening and she left a snappy 30 seconds before he blew himself into the promised land?
No.
No, huh? And we don't have any imaginations. If you were about to be cut out of a billion-dollar will and put nitroglycerin in a bottle that was about to be smashed against the ship, where would you be?
Philadelphia.
At least.
Notice how I know when to keep my mouth shut?
Hi, Vince. Can I do something for you?
Just my car.
Houston's all cowboy. And where you find cowboys, you also find Indians. This one's called Charlie Eagle. Houston imported him from Texas, along with the rest of us. Now, legend has it his great-granddaddy scalped Houston's great-granddaddy. They now have a different arrangement.
How you doing, Chief?
Hey, big time, what's up?
Well, I'm working on the Gambaccini killing. Look, would you scout around and see if anybody on the street's got anything for sale on it?
All right. Anything else?
As a matter of fact, yes. Someone took a shot at me today. And what I'd like you to do is close up the stand and jump in your cab. Put the word out on the street. I want to know who wants me dead and why.
Okay. Check you later.
You got it.
Someone tried to kill him? Paranoid, you know what I mean? He thinks everybody's trying to kill him.
Nice car, Mr. Houston.
Thank you, Tim. Nice to see you again. There you go.
How'd you like going this one?
Well, only if it's housebroken.
Daddy,
Yeah.
Daddy, look who this. It's Houston.
Hey, Houston. You horse thief. What are you doing? How you doing? All right. Yeah, you look good.
Yeah, I saw your wheels outside. Now, why didn't you let me know you were in town?
Because I was only going to be here long enough to have a cup of coffee. You know my daughter Laurie, don't you?
Well, look at you.
Hi, Houston. Long time.
Well, it's been a couple years anyway.
Nice, yeah.
Laurie's in here for a birthday party tomorrow night. We really tie one on then, huh? Who'd ever thought I'd ever have a daughter that pretty?
Well, you've been away to school, haven't you?
Yes, I've been back east. I'd like you to meet my fiance, Preston Amory. This is Houston.
How you doing? Look, keep your seat.
Kids were going to announce their engagement tomorrow night back home at her birthday party there, but we had to move it out here. Some policeman thinks I'm a suspect. Got to stay in town for a couple of days. So I come down here to look around, see if I can find a room big enough to have a party, but they ain't got one. Honey, I'm just going to call that friend of mine. He got a boat big enough. We can have 2 parties on if we want. Hope you don't get seasick.
Oh, no, sir, I don't. Hey, look, I want to wish you both the best of luck.
Thank you very much, Houston.
You know, Preston there, he went to Yale. Say something in Yale, boy.
He's kind of shy.
Yeah, well, it's all right, as long as he got the degree. Buy you a little shooter?
Well, I'll tell you, I'll have to take a rain check. But I do need to talk to you later about your friend Gambaccini. I think you're about the only one who will give me some straight talk about the man.
I'll give your secretary a call. Tell her where I'm staying when I get located.
Good enough. Why don't you leave some tequila for the rest of us? Huh?
No, I ain't gonna do it. Good day.
Bye-bye.
Boy, he's a fine fellow, that one.
I know, God, it's been such a long time.
I'm looking for Karen Ann Douglas.
Who are you?
Her hairdresser.
Dressing room 1 with the star on it.
Thanks a lot.
You think that I killed him? That I put nitroglycerin in that bottle? I don't even know how to spell nitroglycerin.
Knowing you could have paid someone to do it.
Ugly little pygmy.
I don't like being called names. Who the hell are you? Gene Autry?
I think you're about ready to leave. So does she.
We're not through yet, superstar.
Yes, you are.
If you don't mind, I'll let myself out.
You all right?
Well, you're not the hotel manager. Not in $400 boots.
Oh, I'm sorry. My name's Matt Houston. I'm a friend of Serena.
The private investigator. She told me about you.
What was going on with him?
Oh, nothing. Just the normal client-agent relationship.
Well, look, I gotta ask you a pretty tough question. Now, if it's none of my business, I'd appreciate you telling me that rather than lie, all right?
Yes, I was Gambaccini's mistress. He owned me. He wanted to own everything. Like this champagne. Have you ever heard of the Chateau de Ville champagne?
Oh, yes, I have. It's a small, exclusive vintner, believed to be one of the 2 best, but I didn't know it was available anymore. Why?
Gambaccini wanted to own all the Chateau champagne. Now, how do you think he went about doing that?
Probably by forcing the vintner out of business and then buying the estate at a bargain price, given the pieces of information I've been getting.
That's exactly what he did. And now every year, all the champagne has his name on it.
That's a pretty girl. That's your kid's sister?
Kid daughter. You know, Gambaccini kept a record of every bottle corked.
Well, he knew his wines.
So do you. He also kept a record of every bottle he ever gave to anyone. It's sort of ironic. He was gonna christen his ship with his champagne, and instead it christened him.
Ready, Miss Douglas?
Now, why do I get the impression that things weren't perfect in paradise between you two?
Don't know when I've been so blue. Don't know what's come over you. You found someone new. And don't it make my brown eyes blue?
Hold it, Miss Douglas. Guys, you're supposed to go to Blue on bar 12.
Anyway, he was a pig. He used a hidden camera to make tapes of all the women he seduced. I'm the star of one of his more elaborate productions.
Well, that's just great. I mean, that's real great. So you're just like the champagne, right? He wanted you all to himself, and the tapes were his guarantee. Did you really have to stay with him?
You think nobody cares what anyone does in bed anymore? That depends on who or what you're in bed with, doesn't it? I have a career. I'm America's sweetheart. If that tape gets out, I'm finished.
I hope you realize what you're telling me makes you a prime candidate for killing him.
Hardly. He told me that if anything happened to him, anything, that tape would be released within 48 hours.
You think he'd do that?
Bet your sweet astroturf he would.
Okay, once more from the top.
I didn't mean to treat you bad. Didn't know just what I had. But honey, now I do. And don't it make my brown eyes, don't it make my brown eyes, don't it make my brown eyes blue?
Okay. Take 10, everybody.
That's a nice song.
Nice man.
Thank you. So tell me, where's the tape now?
You tell me. I've got less than 48 hours to find it. If I don't, no more songs, goodbye Karen Ann Douglas. With him alive, those tapes were safe. I hated him, but I didn't kill him.
You know, that's what Serena said. The exact same words. And so far, we got one man murdered and nobody killed him.
To nobody.
Hey, Vince.
Hey, looks like we're plowing the same field.
Yeah, and you're 10 steps behind the horse.
Well, I better step in something because the 24 hours is going fast and I still got nothing to hold anybody on.
Yeah, well, if you're going inside to talk for the lady friend, she didn't do it.
How do you know?
She just told me.
She did it again. Okay, so I was wrong. Somebody is trying to kill you.
Well, thanks a lot.
Don't mention it.
Look, Charlie, I want you to get another message out on the street. Someone's out to get me, all right? I want you to let them know that now I'm after them. I ain't fond of being shot at, and I hate having my cars busted up. Now, you spread that around. You hearing me?
I am Indian. I am not deaf.
Yeah. Well, besides that, he ruined my boots.
Enjoy your swim?
Going to change.
Your clothes or your attitude?
Did baby get a fix on Gambaccini's bank account?
$2,456 with 9 zeros lira after it.
Yeah. Well, the 2,456 I can understand, but what do all those little O's mean in paycheck money?
$2 billion, Houston. And it all goes to Serena. You get the feeling you've been had there, pal?
Does seem possible.
Possible? Houston, of course she did it. She's going to inherit $2 billion.
Well, in 10 years, maybe, after probate, he had a clause in his will holding up all the money if he was murdered.
He did? Then she didn't do it.
Yeah, maybe. What's the latest police report?
Well, somebody ripped off Gambaccini's hotel room this morning. What do you think they were looking for?
Well, I know if I were Karen Douglas, I know what I'd be looking for. That's a videotape. What about the nitro?
Not a thing.
Well, that's just great. That's real fine. Come on, let's go.
Where are we going?
To Gambaccini's funeral.
I'm not dressed.
You won't mind. Oh, yeah, right. Well, I'll tell you what, girls. I'll catch you later, all right? Thank you.
Houston figures if all your suspects are in one basket, you better watch that basket. Now, Serena inherits $2 billion only if he dies a natural death. So she wouldn't want to kill him. Karen Ann's career goes down the old tubes if he dies, so she wouldn't want to kill him. Karen's Cody's only client, and if she falls, he falls. So he wouldn't want to kill him. And Wildcat invested a fortune in Gambaccini, so he wouldn't want to kill him. So, Houston's problem is, no one in the basket figured to kill Gambaccini. That's Houston's problem. My problem is, sometimes I can't figure how Houston figures. Sounds like a party.
Or a celebration.
For a murder?
Of course, if you really want to give it a little pep, a little of that Mexican blue juice in there, that'll make that sucker sit up and talk.
To your very bad health.
Ah, my bad health. Live forever, don't you know nothing?
Best looking group of ladies you ever brought by, Taffy.
They should be. I think most of them in first class.
That's the way it's gonna be from now on. First class. Hey, Jack, why don't you move around and see that everybody's got something they want? Come on, let's go for a swim.
CJ, why don't you look around and see what you can pick up?
Love to.
I was talking about information.
So was I.
Get out.
Go turn into a pumpkin.
What the hell are you doing here?
Trying to have a little fun. Why live a lie?
You mean like the one you did at the funeral? I mean, you come into my office pleading for help, crying about how innocent you are. Then I find out you tried to knock off your old man in Paris a couple of weeks ago because he was about to cut you out of his will.
I didn't kill him.
Didn't you? You see, if he cuts you out, you wouldn't get a dime. Now, you may have to wait 10 years, but you still get $2 billion. Now, why don't you tell me again how you didn't kill him?
I didn't kill him!
Yeah, somehow the magic's gone out of the way you say that.
I needed every edge I could get, darling.
I see. And I'm your edge?
Amore, Houston, don't abandon me now. You're the only one I have left.
Then, lady, you better get yourself out of here. Because the way I feel about you right now, they could get you for impersonating a human, and I don't believe I'd argue it.
Getting your attention. I don't remember sending you an invitation.
Well, that makes us even. I don't remember getting one.
Do I know you?
Shut up, stupid. So I'm not broken up that he's dead. So what? They don't send you to jail for having a good time.
No, but you can go to jail for blackmail. See, I figure you know where the tape is that Gambaccini made of Karen. And I figure you plan to use it to keep her under your heel the same way he did.
I don't know anything about any tape, so stop pushing me around.
Well, that's not pushing you. This is pushing you. See the difference? You really that tall, or am I standing in a hole? I was hoping you wouldn't say that.
He's not welcome here, reject. Maybe you can explain it to him.
Look, maybe the two of us could just talk this thing over real friendly-like.
Sorry you gotta be leaving, Houston. Maybe next time.
Well, I didn't want to wear out my welcome anyway. Look, dummy, next time you hit me, use the other hand. I sleep on this side. Can I buy you a drink?
No.
How about dinner?
No.
Nachos and a nightcap at my place?
Come on, Hunter boy.
Are you sure we can't talk about this thing?
No. I don't like your face.
Well, me neither. It's a terrible face.
I think your nose should be moved.
Oh, well, I wouldn't go quite that far.
I would.
Okay, dummy. Let's see if your 300 pounds can stop a 45. Come on, I'm begging you.
Houston, what's going on?
Get in the car, CJ. This dummy just smartened up. Bang!
Houston, this car does not start.
Don't do this to me.
I'm not doing anything to you.
Start the car.
I can't. It's flooded.
Well, then floor it.
It is floored.
CJ, do you want to die?
Not particularly, Houston.
Then turn on the key.
It's Diamond Edge, Pair of Hearts, Gilly's Gal, Vanilla Skate, and Johnny Vitaro on the outside. Pair of Hearts and Vanilla Skate, Johnny Vitaro on the outside. As they come around the clubhouse turn, here they come with Vanilla Skate and Johnny Vitaro. Diamond Edge also challenging on the far outside. Going to the whip now is Howie Portson, and he's coming up on the outside in 3/4 in 132 and change. Down the stretch they come, a 16th of a mile to go. Vanilla Skate on the inside. Johnny Vitaro on
We're already down about 20,000.
And Vanilla Skate
It's good
is
to
the
see you
winner
again.
by a head. It appears
30,000.
it
Good to
was
see
Johnny
you, too.
Vitaro
Come on.
second, and Pair of Hearts
Let me listen to you. Never bet on a horse if you ain't got a jockey on his back, much less own one.
Bye, Daddy.
Where you going?
Press and I are going dancing.
Yeah, dance. Yeah, would you like to settle more Yale dance?
Yeah, you really got something special there, Wildcat. You know that, don't you?
Yeah, thank you. I do. I just don't want that boy hurting her. Don't want anybody hurting her for that matter.
Well, I don't blame you.
Yeah. Oh, I know he's not perfect, but she loves him. But Yale? Oh, you know, I never knew a billionaire who ever went to college. Known a few millionaires who were well fixed, had a good education, but I've never known a billionaire. You want some bourbon?
Well, why not? Oh, boy. Let me tell you about Gambaccini.
Go ahead. So you have to find out who switched the private bottle of champagne for the one with the nitro in it, huh?
That and who had something to gain by having him dead.
That lets me out. Boy, when he blew himself to buffalo chips, he blew me right out of $10 million I had invested in that boat of his.
Oh, what about the insurance?
The insurance might cover the hull, but the boat goes into his estate. It could take 10 years to probate that estate. Meanwhile, you got 250,000 tons sitting there rusting up. Any way you look at it, I blew $10 million. I got a lot of money, don't get me wrong, but ain't nobody can afford to lose $10 million.
Is this his?
Yeah. He gave a bottle of that to everybody he was doing business with. Can you believe it? A billionaire who owns a winery giving it away one bottle at a time.
Well, let's pop it and drink to his health.
Oh, no. No. The way I figure, that's a $10 million bottle of bubbly right there. And when I pop it, it's going to be for something special, like tomorrow night at Laurie's birthday party. You be there. We'll pop it, boy.
I'm going to be there if I can, Wildcat, but right now I'm so lost I can't find my way out with radar. I mean, the truth is the man was pure skunk. I mean, everybody hated him. The only one who had good reason to kill him is my client. I just don't know. You got any ideas?
Me? Yeah, let's punt.
That's the wrong sport.
Yeah, well, my horses wouldn't know the difference. Let's get out of here.
Hey, don't tell me you're one of those people who leaves the races early just to get a jump on the traffic.
You don't think so, what? What's he up to?
Are you all right?
Yeah. Oh, that hurt. Did you get a look at him?
Yeah, I saw him. I know him, too.
Where's Whiteley?
He works for you, Wildcat.
Yes, he does. All right, that's enough. Any more bandages and I'll look like a darn mummy.
Well, what? You got shot in the shoulder? He'll live.
Yeah, back home we'd call it a flesh wound.
Okay, you can take care of the bill when you leave.
Daddy, are you okay?
Oh, my goodness.
Oh.
I'm all right, honey. I do more damage than this shaving of a morning.
Need a statement, Wildcat.
Well, I got shot.
I was looking for something a little more definite than that. Do you know any reason why Perce Whiteley would try and kill Houston?
Perce did this?
I'm afraid he did, honey.
Why?
I have no idea. He's never said a bad word against Houston in his life. I'll swear to it. I mean, ever. I didn't even know he was in town.
I can't believe that Perce Whiteley would do something like this. I mean, I've known him my entire life. He's a sweetheart.
What's Whiteley do for you?
He's kind of a troubleshooter. Looks after the wells, supplies, equipment. A little of this and that.
Is he in debt? Does he need money?
No. In fact, the answer to everything is no.
Daddy, listen. I think that we better cancel my birthday party tomorrow.
Oh, no, honey. That's got nothing to do with this. In fact, we all need a little relaxation, let down a little bit. And you're invited. No need for you to bring any presents or anything like that. Just maybe an automobile, fur or two. Yeah.
Hang back.
What?
We need to talk.
I'll see you tomorrow night. You rest up, you hear? Yeah, I got the perfect cure. You know what I mean? What do you say we eat and talk? Come on. How about Mexican?
How about Chinese?
Italian is usually the compromise when Vince and Houston argue about food. And according to Houston, the best Italian food in town is served at Mama Novelli's. She's exactly who she sounds like she is. Lieutenant Vince Novelli's mama. And she makes the biggest, the bestest tromp on your tongue, tear out your tummy pizza in
I
L.A.
hate to say this, Ace, but it did ever occur to you that maybe Wildcat put this guy Whiteley up to trying to kill you?
You're crazy. Wildcat's been more of a father to me than my old man. Besides, why hire a killer that works for you?
What's the matter with the cannelloni?
Oh, cannolis are just fine.
Que cannoli? Cannoli's a cake. Why don't you eat it?
We just haven't gotten there yet.
Hey, come on, get there, figliolo.
Mama, we're talking.
Senti, if God wanted you to talk while you ate, he'd have put your tongue in your ear.
We better eat.
I'm eating, but I still think Wildcat could be in on this thing.
Vince, he just took a bullet that was meant for me.
Well, maybe he and Whiteley planned it that way. He only took a nick in the shoulder.
Vince, sometimes I wonder about you. Now, unless we're talking about Annie Oakley here, it'd have to be the greatest piece of shooting ever done. 2 inches down, and Wildcat gets it right in the heart.
Maybe you're right.
Maybe?
Here, put some Parmesan. It'll taste better.
Oh, really? No, thanks.
Mama!
You got a girlfriend?
Mama, we're talking business.
Hey, so am I. He's got nobody to feed him. He's gonna get the skinny just like you. Guarda che roba.
Look, Vince, the whole point is if Wildcat wanted me dead, he sure wouldn't push me aside and take a bullet that was meant for me. Now, Whiteley's working independently, or he's working for someone other than Wildcat. Now, maybe somebody hired him to make it look like Wildcat was behind it, but the question is why?
Well, we got an all points out on Whiteley. With luck, we'll have him soon.
Well, you better shoot for more than luck, pal, because I'm getting awful tired of serving up second helpings myself to this fella.
So, what do you want for dessert?
I'm fine.
Dessert is sugar. It gives energy.
I got plenty of energy.
Oh, you have so much energy, eh? Why you have only 4 kids?
Because I only want 4 kids.
Hey, I speak to your wife. We want the 5.
Okay. Here's the way I see it. We got Gambaccini dead over here, Perce Whiteley trying to kill you over there. Guess who's in the middle?
Him?
So, if Whiteley's trying to kill you, maybe he killed Gambaccini.
Maybe.
Well, since it's less than 24 hours before all our suspects do an adios and go south, I suggest we make definites out of maybes before tomorrow night.
Fine, let's wrap it up by tomorrow night.
Hey, why didn't you think of that?
Look, really, I'm just fine.
Sure, another one that's fine. The two of you together, you couldn't beat up a waiter. Siete due grissini. I'm only half asleep.
Well, I'm only half awake. How'd you get in here?
I told one of your secretaries you were expecting me. She didn't seem to mind.
Yeah, well, I teach square dancing 3 nights a week. So why don't you tell me why you're here? I got shot at a couple hours ago, and my sense of humor is a little on the ornery side.
I'm here because I feel really disgusted with myself for what happened at Codewolf's. And I would just like to make things right. So far, so good.
Serena. Never mind.
Nothing bothers Houston more than not knowing the answer to something. He couldn't figure out who wanted Gambaccini dead. He couldn't figure out why Perce Whiteley would come all the way from Texas to kill him. And he didn't know if it was connected to the murder of Niccolo Gambaccini or not. I knew this case, this one, was really getting to him. Then again, maybe it wasn't getting to him.
Charlie.
But you still haven't found Perce Whiteley, and you still don't know who searched Gambaccini's rooms. No fingerprints, no nothing.
We're doing just as good as you are.
Thanks.
Don't mention it.
What?
Oh, not you, Vince. Look, any idea when the rooms were searched?
Just speculation. A couple of hours after he was killed.
Yeah, well, whoever he was, he wasn't wasting any time.
Fine. Who? Boss, I did it! Jackpot! Jackpot!
Can I call you back? What'd you get?
Well, Mr. Perce Whiteley hasn't been seen in Houston for 2 days, and part of what he does for the oil company is handle explosives and yet access to nitroglycerin.
Thanks, CJ.
And I also checked around one of my old buddies who works down there, and he told me that some nitro had been reported missing. 2 whole ounces. Of course, they're trying to keep that quiet.
Oh, I don't blame him. You don't want that stuff sneaking out of the barn.
You don't. So that's it. He has tried to kill you at least 3 times. He was in town. He had the nitro. He did it. He killed Gambaccini. I want a raise.
Talk to Murray.
There goes my raise.
We still don't know where Whiteley is.
Easy, find him.
Yeah, but how?
Well, that's also easy. Advertise. No, I'm talking really big here, you know, like huge. Something really tremendous.
Well, how about several bouquets of glads and mums just woven together? Now, that would be very grand.
You don't understand me, partner. I mean huge, you know, like Texas is huge.
You want a bouquet of flowers as big as Texas?
No, I want it big enough to look like it came from Texas. You know, the horseshoe. Yeah, with a big red Valentine heart in it that says, "Happy birthday to Lori from Houston." And I need it by tonight.
Well, sir, I'd have to hire at least 5 people just to help. And, well, thousands of flowers. Well, that's very expensive.
Yeah, let's do it. I tell you what, when you get finished, put it on the back of a truck and run it around town. And make sure it goes past every television station in the city, honking all the way. And deliver it to this address by 4 o'clock.
Sir, do you have an account with us?
I have some friends that do.
Hold it.
Not now.
Now. Some guy just called from a florist shop to verify that you were you.
Tell him I'm me.
You ordered an 11-foot flowered horseshoe?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I want somebody to know exactly where I'm going to be this afternoon. Only this time, I'm going to be waiting for him.
Boy, have I got bad news for you.
Boy, do I need a drink.
I just blew $1,000 bribing Cody Wall's secretary.
I'll make it a double.
Now listen, Houston, Cody's not just your average 10% agent. He and Karen Ann are partners. They split everything 50-50.
Fine. Now he's got 40% bigger reason not to kill Gambaccini.
In other words, I just spent $1,000 to prove he had no motive.
Not in other words, in the same words.
Nobody had a motive.
Yeah, including Perce Whiteley, but somebody hired him. The question is why.
Well, we know it isn't Karen Ann Cody or Wildcat.
Yeah, so the only one who's got a motive is my client, Serena. But I just don't think she did it. Did you get a hold of that news tape?
Just came in.
Why don't you put it up?
Goodbye, Daddy. I'll see you in hell.
Dear, that kid's got to be innocent. Would you pick a fight on television with someone you were just about to murder?
Well, I would if I needed a good reason to get far away from a full bottle of nitro. Now, there's that champagne again. It seems like every time I turn around, somebody's got a bottle of it.
Volevo usare l'annata della sua nascita.
What was that?
I can't make it out.
Would you play that back? Louder.
Volevo usare l'annata della sua nascita. You knew that, didn't you?
Who knew what? She had baby translate that. The year she was born.
What does that mean?
I don't know yet. The year she was born. Who?
Boss, there's a surprise for you in the gym.
$10 is $10.
Thanks a lot. Houston! Houston! Houston, are you all right? Houston, are you all right? What are you doing down there on the floor?
Resting.
Now, you listen to this. Cody has just filed a legal action to prove that Karen Ann and Gambaccini cohabitated for years.
He'll win, too. And evidence will be spread across every newspaper on Earth.
But what the newspapers will not spread is that if our two lovebirds live together, then little old Karen Ann is entitled to half of Gambaccini's estate. $1 billion.
And she sure didn't have to worry about that tape destroying her career, now did she?
No, and it's certainly a good motive for murder, Houston, not to mention her 50-50 partner who gets half of the $1 billion.
Thanks a lot.
For what?
Because now everybody we thought wanted him alive has good reason for wanting him dead.
Maybe they all killed him. Where are you going, Houston? Where are you going?
I'm going to Cody Wall to see if I can find those videotapes. I want to know who's on them. I also want to know if he happened to hire a man named Perce Whiteley. Charlie, follow me. Hold it. In a minute. CJ, have you had lunch yet?
No, but I'd love to.
Good. Murray, take CJ to lunch and put it on my tab.
To get to Cody Wall, Houston had to pass that big grunt he called Reject. Now that could ruin his whole day. I knew he'd think of something, but this time he knew it had to be something really big.
No, I don't want it covered up. I want it spread across every single newspaper in the country. Now you listen to me. I'm giving you the inside track on the story of the century. Yeah, that's right. Karen Douglas and Niccolo Gambaccini. That takes care of that.
Maybe.
What do you mean, maybe?
Everything except.
Except what? I'm an attorney, you know that. You're trespassing and threatening my life again. I have a witness right over here.
I'll give you 500 to 1 that the lady never testifies against me.
Oh, yeah? Well, you don't know Taffy.
No, Cody. You don't know Taffy.
I think I'll go buy a pair of shoes. Thanks for calling me a lady.
Hey, you! I own you! Okay. Beat me up. Go on. Punch me around.
Well, if I didn't think you'd enjoy it so much, I might be tempted. Now, why don't you tell me again how you didn't have reason to kill Gambaccini?
I didn't kill Gambaccini.
Fine, you hired Perce Whiteley to kill him.
Who's Perce Whiteley?
Still don't know who Perce Whiteley is?
Why don't you break everything in the whole house, huh? How about that one? That one's real expensive.
I know, that's why I saved that one for last. Now, what about Karen Ann? Maybe she hired Whiteley.
Go ask her.
I will. Now, you tell me about the other tapes.
What other tapes?
You remember this one? It's real expensive. Now, you better start talking to me or I'm going to break it over your head, which is not real expensive.
Okay. He had other tapes of a young girl he took to Paris. He got her stoned on angel dust and he made her... You know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Gambaccini said he was going to show the tapes to her family. He said he was going to ruin her twice, once in Paris and once here. And that's all I know.
Who was the girl?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Well, then you tell me something else. You tell me why a man with more than $1 billion went around destroying people's lives. What the hell was in it for him?
It made him laugh, that's all. It was the only thing left that made him laugh.
Really make my skin crawl, you know that?
So I'm not the nicest person in the world. So what? When I get the money, I'll buy nice.
He didn't have that much.
Reject!
That's gonna stop me.
Oh, I brought it for you. Here. You see, I think you're gonna need it. I'm about to take a big gamble here, and I'm betting myself that you got a thick stomach and a glass jaw, and I'm about to find out. Swing, dummy. I think I just lost the bet.
Houston figured the answer to this riddle had to be in those elusive tapes. Who was on them and why? And he figured they had to be in Gambaccini's suite. Someone had ransacked it once trying to find them, so he figured maybe he'd take a shot at it.
How you doing, Houston? Pretty good. How's Monica? Oh, fine. How about the kids? Oh, wonderful. Good. I need a favor.
Uh-oh. Lieutenant Novelli's not gonna like it.
Oh, come on, Bob. Now, didn't I give you a sure thing on Super Bowl?
Novelli won't mind.
Thank you, Bob.
Oh, think nothing of it. In fact, forget it.
Okay, here's everything you ever wanted to know about Perce Whiteley. Now, what do you want to know?
Everything.
Everything. Let's see. You sure you want everything?
Come on, Vance, read it.
Percival Albert Whiteley, age 43, no prior arrests, high school graduate, married at 18. Here's the picture. Plays semi-pro ball, good work record, wife dies in 56, had a mental breakdown, recovers, joins the Army, good service record, honorable D, goes back to work for Wildcat.
How did his wife die?
Childbirth. He's out of the Army again, right? He goes back to work, good work record again, rises to foreman.
Stop.
I'm stopped. Come on, what are you thinking of? Speak.
You want a real shot in the dark here? I'll bet you his wife died on February 14th, 1956.
She died, that's right. How did you know? What do you know that I don't know? Hey! Oof.
I talked to the immigration people. You were right.
Yeah, I know.
What are we gonna do now?
We handle it.
When are you gonna change for Laura's party?
About an hour. I want you to call Serena, Karen Ann, Cody, Wildcat. Tell them to get there early. Tell Vance I need that silver vest he gave me.
All right. You okay?
Yeah, I'll be all right. Just need a little time to think.
Oh, Daddy, it's beautiful.
Beautiful party for a beautiful girl.
Thank you, Daddy.
Oh, don't you know he paid a pound or two for this sucker? Ooh, it's
Come on,
a big
guys,
boat.
move it. Will you move it? We only got a couple hours before the party starts. Jerry, set up the dance.
Boy,
Get those tables
that's
up
about
here.
the biggest present I'm gonna get.
Isn't it pretty? Yeah, you should have seen the horse they took it on for.
Wildcat!
Hey, look here. Hey, she just loved it. So did I. Yeah. Hey, let me see that suit. Ooh, that's the prettiest thing I ever saw on a fellow that wasn't in a casket.
Yeah, well, I just got it off the rack, $49.50.
Yeah, I believe you. Per button.
How's your arm doing?
Oh, it's good. I've had sunburns that hurt worse than that. There goes my whole life, boy. Ain't she something?
Yeah, she is. She is something.
Well, I'm about to pop the cork on a $10 million bottle of champagne. I'd like to have you join me.
Well, you pop it. I'll be right back. Excuse me, can I talk to you for a minute?
I want the tapes.
Got a little something for you. Want you to keep on singing.
Thanks, cowboy. Ciao, caro. Come stai?
I want to talk to you for a minute. Got your father's tape, Karen Ann. It's for sale.
What do you mean?
I mean, it's for sale. You want to buy it?
Why should I want it?
Well, I don't know, but I'm about to find out the truth about you. How much would you pay for it?
$2 million?
How about 3?
Yes.
4? 5 million, maybe?
Darling, $1 billion is 1,000 million. 5 means nothing.
Why?
Why not?
No, you tell me why.
You don't leave me a graceful exit, eh?
I didn't mean to.
I hate her. I want to control her. I want to have her in my hands. I am my father's daughter.
Goodbye, Serena. As far as you're concerned, my number's changed.
Do you have the tape, Houston? Houston! Houston! Is it for sale?
Don't ask me. Ask her.
Terrence, stop it! Stop it! It's proof that you live with him. We need it in court. It's worth $500 million.
Brava.
Damn it, Houston!
Nice little boat your friend's got here.
Yeah, boy, did you know he got a pretty penny tied up in this sucker? Well, it's Laurie's birthday.
$1 million bubbles, they don't really taste that good, do they? You know I love her, don't you, Wildcat? I mean, you've been half father, all friend to me all my life. You know I'd never do anything to hurt you or your family.
I know that, boy.
Yeah, well, this isn't easy. It's taken me a while to figure out how to tell you, but you gotta understand why I have to say what I'm about to.
Say what?
I know what you did, and I know why you did it. I just don't want to be the one to hand you over to the police.
Well, you keep talking, but you ain't said nothing yet.
Wildcat, what are you doing to me? I said I know.
And I say you're on the dance floor. Now, you either ought to dance or get the hell off of it.
All right. You killed Gambaccini. You killed him because he drugged Laurie in Paris and went to bed with her. He showed you the videotape he made of the both of them, and he threatened to show it to her boyfriend. You took the nitro off Perce Whiteley's rig, you put it in a champagne bottle, and you blew him to kingdom come.
You telling me I'm the one that switched the bottles?
No, Wildcat, you're telling me. And that's the second time. Whoever said anything about the bottles being switched except you?
That's pretty slim proof, boy. You'd have to have an awful lot more than that.
Yeah. Laurie said she was back east. Immigration says she was in Paris.
Any law against you taking a little trip to Paris?
Look at the bottle, Wildcat. It's got the year she was born on it, 1956. The same year that Gambaccini wanted to use at the christening.
So it's 56, so what?
He gave you a 71. Here's his record. Now, how could you have that bottle unless you were the one that switched him? It's the wrong year.
Now what have you got? Now what jury do you think is going to believe that I killed Gambaccini? Then took a shot that was meant for you, meant for the man that was trying to find the killer. What jury do you think would believe that?
You took the shot to save me. You didn't know it was Perce Whiteley because you didn't hire him. He was working all by himself. You asked me if I saw who it was because you were checking me out. Because in that split second, when you saw Perce Whiteley, you knew what he was doing. He was going to kill Lee. Now, you knew that he figured out the nitro was missing, and he knew that you hated Gambaccini. He knew that you were at the christening. Wildcat, you. Laura's not your natural daughter. She's Whiteley's.
You're right, of course, boy. Old Purser's wife died of childbirth. He went off the deep end, had a complete breakdown. There wasn't anybody around that could look after the little baby except his best friend, me. I was only going to look after her till he got out of the sanitarium, but it took a whole lot longer than either one of us had ever figured. The time he finally came home, I was the only father she knew. Neither one of us had the heart to hurt her. So we just both raised her and loved her all her life. Did you get that tape, boy?
Yes, I have it. You didn't have to kill him, Wildcat.
He was gonna show that tape all over the place. That would have killed Laurie. I couldn't stand that.
No, but you could have come to me. We could have worked something out. You didn't have to kill him. He's here, isn't he?
He is.
You could let him kill me.
Maybe I wish I could. Come on out, Perce. He knows everything.
No.
Ow! Flash of light!
By now, y'all probably realize that when Houston sets his mind to something, he almost always gets it done. Well, you see, his horse made him mad, and losing that $10 bet made him even madder. So there were two things he absolutely had to do. Bust Gutbuster and get his $10 back. Like he said, it's the principle of the thing, CJ. Only in this case, he figured his principal could earn him a little interest. Oh, there is one other thing you probably now realize about Houston. Like most Texans, he overdoes things a bit for his friends.
CJ, are you absolutely positive, no mistake, certain that he still can't ride that horse?
Bo, I'm telling you, he bought a mechanical bucking machine to practice on, and he can only stay on it for 2 seconds.
What do you think? I don't know. I feel like a chicken hawk's about to dive on the hen house.
Lamar, would I bet my own $10 on anything that wasn't a sure thing?
Never have.
Never will.
What are you guys worried about? I'm telling you, it's a sure thing. No one can ride that horse.
Charlie, I just bought a new wetsuit, surfboard, roof racks, couple pairs of flippers. I'm fresh out of jeans. I'm tapped out.
That's good. How about you?
I don't know anything about horses.
Terrific.
I don't want to blow $10 betting Houston he can't bust a bronco.
Listen, this is not just any bronco, it's this bronco.
I don't know. What do you think, Vince?
I don't know anything about horses.
Guys, I'm Indian. Trust me. Do I know about horses or do I know about horses?
You really think he can't ride that horse?
It's like betting on Sitting Bull at Little Bighorn.
I don't know about Sitting Bull either.
Well, don't just sit there. Do I have a bet or don't I? Bo?
You're on. $10 says you can't ride that horse.
Lamar?
Same bet.
Mm-hmm. How about you, CJ?
I'm in.
Charlie?
Why don't you make it $20?
No, 10's my limit. How about you, Slim?
You sure?
Look, I'm Indian.
Bet.
Vince?
I don't know anything about horses. But $10 says you can't ride them.
Thank you, Vince. Let him out. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Vince. Any questions?
Yeah, I got a question. What'd you whisper in that horse's ear?
Well, I just told him that if he didn't trot around this corral as easy as a Tennessee walker, I'd kill him.
You wouldn't kill that horse.
Well, of course not. He doesn't know that.
Hi, Graham.
Of course, you recognize Carl Ross and Cindy McNichol.
I think you're the best magician in the world.
Thank you. And I think you're beautiful.
And I think you're pushing your luck.
Coffee, anyone?
Make mine black, Wally.
Get your own, Brodax.
Is that any way to greet an old friend?
What's this all about?
Well, if you must know, boys and girls, it's about a special edition of Tattletale and you four, who in the last 12 months have all sued me and all lost.
And this is your way of rubbing our noses in it?
Haven't you heard us enough?
I merely print the truth, sweetheart. That's why I called you here this morning, so that you'll have the opportunity to respond to these stories. Thompson?
Just tell me precisely what you want to say to our readers.
Brodax, you're a dead man.
Take down Mr. Ross's words exactly, Thompson. I don't want the champ to accuse us of misquoting him. Mr. Graham, how about you?
Words are your weapons, Brodax. I've got my own.
And Wally?
Gone too far this time, Al.
Well, Thompson, I thought that went very well, didn't you?
Yes, sir. Excellent. You were masterful.
Oh, well, yes. Tell you what we'll do. We'll run a news story leading off with their threats against me. Then I'll make a statement. No amount of intimidation will prevent Tattletale from sticking to its high journalistic standards. Oh, no. Ron, could you get that for me? It's an article I worked on all last night.
Sure thing, Mr. Brodax.
Here you are, son.
By the way, your story on the 8-year-old girl who eats fire, too sketchy. Get some interviews. Talk to her friends, her principal. You ask her dentist how it affects her teeth.
That's it. Now, don't you worry about a thing, little buddy. We're gonna get you all fixed up, and then go back and take care of the rest of your friends.
They're manufactured in Hong Kong for less than $3 a pair. Shipping back to the States, advertising, packaging, promoting runs only another $1.85 a pair.
Murray, I thought we had a rule about business out here at the ranch.
Now, we sell them to the outlets for $10.50 a pair. They for $22.50 a pair.
Who'd you say
that
you worked
gives us
for?
a net profit of $5.15 for each pair we
What's
sell.
that D
Now,
stand
I've run
for?
a cost comparison with the Taiwan
Would
mills.
you marry me?
Hold it now,
fellas!
Houston?
Murray,
Houston?
I think that this is a great investment. I can never get you at the office, so...
Houston?
Yeah, just a minute, CJ. Ladies, listen. I'm sorry you had to come all the way out here. But see, there's no business out here. There's a time and a place for everything.
Just name it.
Houston, I need you.
CJ, if... CJ, like I told Murray, I'm up to here in trouble. I've got 15 head of calves stranded up in White Pine Meadow.
Houston, it's Johnny Randolph. His dad got in the way of a murder attempt. He's been badly hurt.
Now, don't you worry about them calves, Houston.
Just take care of them for me, will you?
Okay, girls. Back in the bus.
wasn't just Houston's landscaper. He was an old friend. And one thing you have to know about Houston, he doesn't like it when his friends get hurt.
CJ, why don't you call ahead to the house?
Let them know you're going to investigate? I already have.
Thank you. Oh, Johnny. Easy, buddy. Come on, let's go sit down for a minute, all right? Come on. Be all right. Here, have a seat there, partner. Listen to me. It's gonna be all right. You get my word on that, okay?
But the doctors don't know if
I know, Johnny, slow down for a minute, okay? Johnny, you're gonna have to be the man in the family for a little while now. You know that, don't you? I know you're scared. Think about how scared your brothers and sisters are.
You want to help him, don't you?
Yeah, sure you do. I know you do. You get to pull up real hard now and get a hold of yourself. You do that for me, won't you? Yeah, I know you will. Now, you got to tell me. Tell me exactly what happened out there.
I'll tell you what happened. Someone tried to silence the press, kill the First Amendment. Well, let me tell you, the pen is mightier than the sword. Johnny?
Just who the hell are you?
Brodax. Al Brodax. I'm the publisher of Tattletale. Johnny, I want you to call this number and ask for Cappy. He's one of my best reporters. He's going to ask you some questions. And you're going to make $50. You'd like to make $50, wouldn't you, Johnny?
But what do I have to do?
Just answer Cappy's questions. Oh, and we're going to need a photograph of you, too. It'll be a wonderful article, you'll see. I saw my dad electrocuted.
Just a warm, sensitive human being.
Yeah, just why don't you tell me exactly what you're doing here?
Someone tried to kill me this morning, Mr. Houston. My swimming pool was sabotaged. 220 volts of electricity. When the boy's father tried to retrieve some papers for me that had fallen into the water, he nearly got killed. I want to talk about our catching and convicting the lunatic who's done this.
Our catching?
Someone from here called and said you were investigating this matter. Well, I'm here to join forces with you. I'm ready to lend the full power and investigative capabilities of Tattletale. What do you say?
I'll tell you quite honestly, Mr. Brodax, I'm not interested in you or Tattletale helping me on this case. But I tell you something else. I'm going to find out who tried to kill my friend. Johnny,
Houston, don't worry about it. I'll get Johnny back to his family.
Fine. Remember what I said, all right? I'm going to show you the way out. You get a hold of Murray, and you tell him to get down to the nursery and start taking care of things.
Simple, really. The electrical line leading into the water pump was cut and fed directly into the circulator.
So if Brodax wanted to take a little dip in the pool,
he'd have been dead before he came up for air.
Yeah.
Lucky Ron Randolph was wearing rubber boots. Took quite a jolt of electricity, but he's still alive, barely.
Vince, how tough would it be to really change that kind of wiring?
It's a cinch for anybody with a basic knowledge of wiring and electricity.
So let me guess, our would-be killer was wearing gloves, so there aren't any fingerprints?
Yes, but we are not completely without leads.
Losers of the year.
Sounds like our friend Brodax was very good at winning friends and influencing people.
Mr. Houston, have you solved the case yet?
Well, I'll tell you, Mr. Brodax, Lieutenant Novelli and myself were just going over the suspects when he handed me this.
Eye-catching, isn't it? Should be a sellout.
Mr. Brodax, I doubt that the people on the front page share your enthusiasm.
I'm not in this business to make friends. By the way, my offer still stands if you need any help.
Yeah. Well, listen, have any of these people ever threatened you before?
Well, they all did this morning.
Yeah,
You see, Mr.
perhaps I should explain. Last night, I sent each of them an advance copy of this week's edition and asked them here to get their reactions.
It seems like you got yourself a whole swimming pool full of reactions, Mr. Brodax.
And a front page full of suspects. all that was going on. Houston wanted to make sure everything was going well at the nursery while Johnny's father was in the hospital.
Jack. Oh. Phone. Excuse me. Houston Enterprises. Check that. Randolph Nursery. Yes, of course, I'm sure. Now, what is it you want? Cannabis sativa? Is that a fern? Or a plant or a bush? None of the above? Well, something you smoke? No, we do not carry that in stock. Do you know what the... Oh, I'm sorry.
Miss, excuse me, please. Here, look, have your dress cleaned on us, all right? And come back. And bring an umbrella. Murray.
I'm sorry. Houston, I need help.
Murray, Beverly Hills is full of shrinks.
Not that kind of help. It's this business. Ron has got a monumental backlog of deliveries.
Well, it looks like business is just fine. I mean, a little soggy, but fine.
Houston, Ron is in the hospital. He has delivery problems. I have been on the phone for an hour trying to hire a delivery person. There are none. Our society is devoid of delivery people. If I were not a sane, rational person, I would say that there is some kind of fiendish plot. Maybe there is.
Murray, listen. Get Bo and Lamar on the phone. Have them get their tails out here and give you a hand.
Oh, no. No, please. Now, listen.
Murray. Now, it's either Bo and Lamar or a shrink, and shrinks cost $85 an hour. Now, if CJ calls, you tell her I'm at the hospital visiting Ron. Now, you just take it easy, Murray.
Sorry.
That's not meat you're marinating. Ow! CJ, you're trying to kill me or something. CJ! Oh, what is that on there? Burns like acid.
It's acid. Just kidding, Houston.
Thank you, Mary Ann. Did you see the look? What's wrong with Mary Ann?
What's wrong with Mary Ann is her name's Alex.
Oh. Ouch! CJ!
Houston, would you stop being such a baby?
Baby, that reminds me, I knew there was something else we could be doing besides this.
She's all programmed and ready to go. Did you get a chance to talk to Ron Randolph?
Well, I called the hospital. They said he's in pretty rough shape, but they believe he's gonna make it.
That's good news.
You bet it is.
Okay.
What do we got?
Hello, baby. First up, Cindy McNichol, Miss July for Sultan Magazine.
You don't suppose Baby's got a copy of the centerfold in there? Just put it up, okay? Oh, that's nice.
Try not to drool all over the couch, Houston. Now, Brodak's alleged in his newspaper that Cindy only got the centerfold because there was pressure from certain individuals in organized crime, namely...
Carl the Champ Ross.
The Champ?
Mm-hmm. He's one of the most ruthless men in organized crime. He fancies himself as a boxer. His most recent stint in Leavenworth, he had a standing invitation to $10,000 for anyone who could stay in the ring with him more than 3 rounds.
Anybody ever take him up on it?
Only the slow-witted ones. Yeah, who's next?
The Amazing Graham, magician. One of the most popular in the country until Tattletale printed an article saying he was a bigamist. Married 3 women at the same time. Apparently has put quite a crimp into his bookings.
Yeah, not to mention the alimony.
And last but not least, Wally Hanrahan. Con artist extraordinaire. Used to work for Brodax. In fact, used to come up with all kinds of circulation-building gimmicks.
Such as?
Such as the ultimate diet. Lose weight while you're sleeping. 30,000 pigeons bought that one at $10 a throw. Anyway, Brodax became a witness for the government, and Hanrahan went to jail. Mail fraud.
So, these 4 people on the cover all sued Tattletale and lost. Is there anything else about them that they have in common?
Yep. All of those stories are true.
Come on, CJ. I think it's time we go see Mr. Hanrahan.
Welcome to Tahitian paradise. The island where your dreams can come true.
You suppose we're in the wrong office?
Do you care?
No.
Follow us, please.
Anywhere you say.
Aloha, my friends. Welcome to the quiet and serenity that can only be found at Tahitian paradise. Welcome to the opportunity to own your own piece of a tropical South Sea island. I know what you're going to say. You can't afford a luxury condo. Wrong. Anyone can. For peanuts. How? By sharing the cost with 51 other fortunate owners. Yes, for an entire week, every year, you can bask in the sun, swim in the seas of romance.
Rub shoulders with ex-cons?
Who are you?
My name's Matt Houston. This is C.J. Parsons, my associate. We'd kind of like to talk to you about Al Brodax.
Oh. Sorry, kids. False alarm. Take 10. Brodax, huh? Yeah, well, I heard somebody try to kill him this morning. Too bad they missed.
We understand he isn't your favorite person.
I made his paper with my promotions.
And then you made one promotion too many.
The ultimate diet. Yeah, well, Brodax was in it as much as I was. Only he kept better records. I guess you might say he was smarter than me in those days, see? I trusted him.
Sounds like a good motive for murder.
Sure it does. And I would have killed him 3 years ago when I first got indicted, or even after I got out of jail. But now, are you crazy? This Tahitian paradise thing is a gold mine. And legit.
Well, Brodax swimming pool had to be wired sometime last night. I don't suppose you'd mind telling us where you were last night.
Leilani? Kamalani? The gentleman wants to know where I was last night. Aloha, you all. Aloha, my friends. Welcome to the quiet...
3 most attractive parts, I might add. Bravo, bravo. Let's get in front of it. And now, ladies and gentlemen, what we have here is a trunk. What we also have here is a beautiful lady. We put the beautiful lady in the trunk, making certain, of course, that there is no way that she can get out.
1, 2,
3.
What do you want to get? He's in the box now. That is really amazing.
Yeah. I'm also a mind reader, and I'm getting a name. Dallas? No, Houston. Matt Houston.
Yeah, Vince Novelli told you I'd be coming by.
Now you know one of my secrets.
Yeah, this is C.J. Parsons.
Ah, for you. Sorry about that. Do you mind?
Well.
Let me try this again. For you.
Thank you.
Here, I'll get rid of that. Nice place to roost.
That's wonderful. You're full of tricks.
Well, why don't you stick around and catch my show? I have a matinee in an hour.
Well, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, listen, I hate to be the one to throw a cold bucket of water.
But you want to know if I was the one who tried to kill Brodax, and the answer is no. Now, if you want to ask me if I felt like killing him, the answer is yes. Bigamy is definitely not a good image for magicians.
Neither is murder. Which leads me to the classic question.
I left this theater at midnight and went straight home.
Alone?
Are you kidding? Can a man with 3 wives ever be alone? Now, if you'll excuse me. I do have a show to prepare for.
Houston, would you do me a favor?
What's that?
Don't ask me to follow that man.
Right.
Houston figured that with Hanrahan's 2 hula girls and the magician's 3 wives as alibis, it was time I did some checking. Meanwhile, he went on alone to keep his appointment with the infamous Carl the Champ Ross.
Yeah?
I'm Matt Houston. I believe I've got an appointment.
Oh, yeah, Houston. The boss is warming up now, so you're going to have to wait a few minutes. Tell you what, follow me.
Well, sure. Oh. Wait a minute, aren't you Archie O'Brien?
Hey, you remember me?
Well, who could forget? I mean, that fight you had with Ingersoll.
Oh, hey, yeah, that was some battle.
You guys must have went toe-to-toe for 8 rounds, huh?
Yeah, suddenly I hit him with an uppercut, and that's all she wrote.
Yeah. Well, you're working for Carl Ross now.
Oh, yeah, I kind of help him work out. You know, I spar with him, you know. And he likes me. I let him win.
What kind of boss is he?
Mr. Ross is very good to me. Look, why don't you...
I already made my best offer. Step into the ring, and then we'll talk. You know, you interest me, Mr. Houston. You're one of the few people on Earth that has more money than I do. And yet you run around playing cops and robbers. Now, why is that?
Because I enjoy it.
Your enjoyment's gonna get you hurt.
Watch him. He uses every dirty trick in the book.
Suppose what I tell you the house rules. There aren't any.
Mr. Ross, I believe you just stepped in it.
I understand you've come here to insult me.
Not really. I just wanted...
No, you just wanted to ask if I was responsible for the attempt on Brodax's life, huh?
Was curious.
I have every right to want him dead. But electrifying a swimming pool, that's strictly amateur. If I wanted a man dead, I'd have him shot.
Ross?
If I find out who did this, I will kill him. I swear I'll kill him.
You were right, Houston. Shot came from over the hill over there. Had to be an expert. It's over 300 yards.
Vince, the whole thing doesn't make any sense. I mean, up to now, we knew our killer had to be somebody with a grudge against Brodax.
Yeah, somebody hurt by his paper.
That's right. And then someone tries to get me at the nursery yesterday, and now they got one of our suspects.
Lieutenant, they tell me I need your permission to get a photograph of Ross's remains.
You also need my permission to be on the scene of the crime. You have neither. Now leave.
You trying to hide something from the press? The American public has a right to know.
Put your flag away and get off this property before I arrest you.
For what?
For being obnoxious on the scene of a crime. Now beat it.
Okay, I'll go. But don't think you can hide anything from me. Tattletale is America's watchdog.
Vince, I didn't know you had a temper.
Well, I still haven't got anything firm on either Hanrahan or Graham's alibis.
Of course not. I mean, why should it? I mean, why should anything come easy on this case?
Houston, do you think Ross's murder is connected to the attack on you and the attempt on Brodax?
I'm positive, CJ. There's got to be a connection linking one of our suspects to both Brodax and Ross.
Well, I'll keep digging.
Yeah, well, it's got to be, CJ.
Well, got to be what?
There's got to be the connection between Brodax and Ross. Somebody who wanted to see them both dead.
Where are you going?
I'm going to dinner.
Well, Houston, I haven't had dinner yet. Of course, I'm not hungry either.
Your aura is bluer than ever.
Well, thank you, Cindy. Listen, we need your help. Vince and I think that you're our only possible link to Brodax and Ross.
You see, you were living with a gangster, and Brodax let this entire country know through that scandal sheet of his.
Things change. I'm now undergoing a rebirth of consciousness, motivation, and intent to all my fellow men.
Well, that's swell, Cindy. I think what Vince is trying to say is that we figure you might have attracted a self-appointed savior somewhere along the line.
Like your father, brother, old boyfriend.
Yeah, someone who loved you enough, someone who didn't like the way you were being treated by those fellas.
You believe that Carl was murdered and someone tried to kill Mr. Brodax because of me?
Well, we think that's very possible. Now, how do you feel about that?
Forgive me. Meditation teaches one to observe matters from a distance.
Sit. Lost her again, Vince.
Allora, did you decide what to order?
Mama, you order, please.
Oh, no. When I decide, you always complain it's too much food, it's too much this, too much that. Troppo difficile, say. Tonight, you order. So, pretty lady, what would you like? Hey, pretty lady. Vincent, what's the matter? Oh, poverina. You both make her wait so long to eat, she faints from hunger.
She didn't faint, Mama. She's in meditation.
Medication you get in a hospital, not in my ristorante.
Mama, it's not medication, it's meditation. She's deep in thought.
For my menu. It's not that complicated.
Mama, please, some food.
Okay, tell me what you like.
Same as Houston.
Y'all have the same Cindy.
Benissimo, three of the same coming right out.
She's back. Listen, did you think any more about that? Who might have loved you enough to kill for you, just to protect you?
No one. I have no family. I was abandoned by my parents at the age of 14. There was never any boyfriend. Carl Ross was the only man who ever showed me any kindness.
Benedetti, ragazzi. But why you want to fool Mama like that? You just gave me 3 orders of nothing.
Make it 4.
Fellas! Huh? No, listen, I got your order right here. No problem. 5 o'clock guaranteed. Fellas!
Murray!
Houston, thank the Dow Jones averages, you're finally here.
What's wrong now, Murray?
Paul and Lamar, they think they're running a demolition derby. Take a look at this place.
Hey there, Johnny. Just the man I'm looking for.
I am?
Yeah. Tell you, I wanted to ask you a couple of questions. Listen, don't you worry about old Bo and Lamar there. They'll make everything up, I can guarantee you. Listen, I saw your dad at the hospital this morning.
They say he's getting better.
That's right. See, I needed to ask him a couple questions about what happened to him the other morning, but he was still sleeping.
Well, I was there. Maybe I could tell you.
You know, Johnny, that's what I thought. So what I'd like you to do is think real hard for me and see if you can tell me everything you remember.
Well, we were planting flowers, and Mr. Broadox came out for his morning swim. And he was talking to some reporter guy.
Can you tell me what they said?
Something about a girl eating fire. And then his papers fell into the pool, and he started yelling at my dad to get them out. He said they were an article that he worked on all night.
Huh. Article.
That's what he said. That means something?
Houston, it's phone for you. It's CJ. She says it's important.
Be right back. What do you got, CJ?
Maybe the missing link. I just found out that Hanrahan and Carl the Champ Ross served time in Leavenworth together. From what I could dig up, they have a mutual hate society. Which means that he'd want to kill both of them.
Yeah, I'm still here, CJ. I just, strikes me a little funny that, I just never figured our Polynesian king to be a killer. We better pay him another visit.
Houston, stop him. It's going to kill me.
Freeze!
Freeze? Why?
The cops say that in situations like this.
I'm going to unfreeze, and you're going to find out what this bad guys do in situations like this.
Listen, Now that I've got your attention, let me ask you a question.
Be my guest.
Thank you. Why are you trying to kill Mr. Hanrahan?
He killed my boss because of what happened in Leavenworth. Lord X told me. If you don't believe me, take a look over in that corner. I never saw it before. I swear to you, I never saw that gun before.
I'm beginning to feel as out of place as a prairie dog at a rattlesnake convention. I mean, we got a sleazo syndicate boss that's dead. We got a sleazo gossip publisher who almost got killed. I nearly got myself killed, and I'm beginning to wonder why. Oh, yeah.
See, this builds your arms up, your shoulders.
Don't say anything.
Did I say anything?
Just
I didn't say anything.
don't say anything.
Just help you out a lot.
Hello there, Johnny. How's it going, buddy?
How you sent, Miss Parsons?
What?
Got the bus? CJ?
Hey, will you stop your gaggling and get back to work? We got lots of this work to do here, Jay. Discipline. That's a secret of good management. Murray taught me that. Well, come on, don't just stand there. We got lots more to hear. Here.
Pull it back here, John.
Take this.
Huh?
Get going. Go over here, there, John.
Just in time. Join me in a toast. This has really been a great day for us, Mr. Houston. You have caught a murderer, and I've got a story worthy of another special edition.
Yes, you do. And you can start by telling your readers how you sent a professional fighter after Hanrahan, a man who used to make a living with his fist. Now, how'd you know it was Hanrahan?
I figured it had to be him. He was the only one who had a grudge against both me and Ross.
Which brings us to our next point.
Right. How'd you know about that grudge?
Read about it with the rest of America in Tattletale. Only cost a quarter.
Excuse me, but Mr. Houston has a phone call. It's Murray from your office, line 3.
Thank you. Hello, Murray. Yeah. I got it. It seems like Frank Graham just called. He wants me to meet him at the theater. Says he knows who killed Ross. It wasn't Hanrahan.
What?
Yeah. Tell you what, CJ, I'm gonna have Bo and Lamar take you back to the office, and I'll talk to you a little later on, okay?
And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, the cage is absolutely empty. Empty. But now, with a few magic words, and perhaps a little bit of luck, let's see what we can do. Well, I thank you, sir, for the applause. Small but very discriminating audience.
Yeah, well, my office tells me that you're in a position to incriminate. They tell me that you know who killed Ross.
Indeed, I do. And when you hear my evidence, you'll be convinced as well. The murderer is Al Brodax.
That's very good, Maestro.
How'd you figure it out? Yeah, well, actually, it wasn't him. It was me.
Where are the cops?
He's supposed to be here any minute now. That phone conversation out at your house, that was all a setup. This here's a trap.
What are you talking about?
Well, see, you staged your very own murder attempt. Yeah, you rigged your pool, and then you conveniently let those papers drop in, and you wanted Ron Randolph to fish them out for you. And then when you were sure that everybody knew somebody was trying to kill you, you murdered Ross. Yeah, and you knew the police were going to connect it to Hanrahan. That way you got rid of both of them.
I'd have gotten away with it, too, if you hadn't stuck your nose in it.
What are we going to do?
Not real sure. You're the magician. Why don't you just disappear us out of here? You're probably wondering where you slipped up, aren't you? Well, I'm going to tell you. It was the papers in the pool. See, I found a piece of that paper on the bottom of my boot the other day, and it was blank. It bothered me an awful lot because you told Ron Randolph that it was an article that you'd been working on all night.
The trunk has a trap door.
Oh, good. I'll tell you what. I'll distract him, and you make a run for it. Now. Better hide and stay hidden.
Give it up, Rodax. Police are on their way now. Houston, I'm not gonna let you bring me down for killing that mobster. He was bleeding me dry. After he lost the lawsuit, he still wanted the money. Said he'd kill me if I didn't give him half the tattletale. Something. If Mr. Pulitzer ever gives a prize for malice, you're going to have it all sewn up. Come on.
Houston, where are you? Houston, are you all right?
I'm fine, Vince, but I'm afraid you missed the show. Come on, Brodax.
Slowly, stay together now. That's it, perfect. Just relax.
Murray? Well, Murray, what in the Sam Hill is going on here?
How do you know?
Know what?
That's my name, Samantha Hill.
Is it really?
Before you say another word, did you or did you not say no business at the ranch? Huh? Did you, huh?
Yeah, I did.
Which means business is to take place at the office.
And dinner takes place in a restaurant. Hungry?
A little bit.
All right, ignore me. Send me away. Hang me by my heels for looking after your interests. Crucify me for my responsibility.
Murray, don't be so melodramatic. Houston was just talking about you.
He was?
Yes, he was.
Yes, I was, Murray. And I was just telling CJ about how I was going over the facts and figures on the company that you left me.
Really?
Well, yeah, really, Murray. See, now, I think it's a dandy little company. Now, if the numbers are right, I think...
The numbers are more than right. Houston, the guy who owns the company is a genius when it comes to designing jeans, but he is a babe in the woods when it comes to money. I'm telling you, Houston, we can steal this company.
Oh, no, we can't.
We can't?
No. See, you can't steal anything you already own. See, I bought half interest in that company this morning. See, it's just like you said, Murray. The man's a genius, and he's probably a pretty nice fella, and we wouldn't want to steal something from somebody like that, now would we?
Not me. No.
And Murray, because Houston wants to protect his investment, he wants you to buy something else. He wants you to buy the modeling agency.
Modeling agency?
Well, yeah, Murray. See, I figure as long as you've got the product, you've got to have the right packaging.
Looks like a remote control device.
She's dead.
You sure he won't mind? Christina, if you know Houston as well as you claim to, there's absolutely nothing to worry about.
Nothing to worry about? I wouldn't exactly call a first-degree murder charge nothing to worry about. Besides, it's been a while since Houston and I haven't seen him in a while.
I think you're putting the cart before the horse. Lieutenant Novelli isn't having you arrested. He simply wants you available.
But everybody knows how I felt about Valentine, and a lot of people heard me say I wanted to see him dead.
That would make you a prime suspect.
Let's go! Come on, buddy, you got it! Come on, Rupert, you got it now! Hey, come on, Rupert, you're hearing me! Oh, Rupert, buddy, you got it now! Come on, do you hear me now? Come on, Rupert! Oh, no, would you look? You hear me, Rupert? Let's go get the... Oh, now, come on! Time out here, time out!
Time? What do you mean, time? We didn't set any time limit.
Yeah, well, old Rupert here's not feeling up to snuff. I mean, he just flew in from Florida, and I bet you he's a little airsick. Jet lag or something.
Frogs don't get jet lag.
Well, this one does. Now, I mean, he's real sensitive. He comes from a long line of champions, fellas. He's a real thoroughbred, and I bet you he's got some Arabian in him, don't you?
I don't care. You can't call a race in the middle. It just ain't fair. What are you going to do, Houston? You're going to forfeit?
Well, no, sir. Old Rupert can jump circles around your frog.
Well, how'd you like to put your money where your frog is?
You got yourself a bet. Double or nothing, they'll run on Sunday.
Hello, Rooster.
Hello, Squeaky.
Rooster and Squeaky. It's been a while.
I bet you it's been 6 years, hasn't it? Let's go back to the office and get some lunch.
Houston, you forgot something, me.
One thing's for sure, Rupert's legs are probably better for eating than for jumping.
Now, don't you worry about a thing, Chris. Old Vincent Novelli's a friend of mine. I think I can reason with him.
Has a much bigger problem than that, Houston.
Believe me, there's nothing bigger than murder one. Except maybe that thing you're wearing on your finger. It's a little too big for a friendship ring, isn't it?
It's the real thing, Houston. He's wonderful. I met my Prince Charming just like you said I would.
Man, my big mouth. Do I know him?
He's a congressman.
Oh, I see. I'm beginning to get it now. You get busted and his career goes bust, not to mention your love life with him, right? And you want me to help you? Now what the hell? For old time's sake, don't worry about a thing. Old Rooster's gonna fix it. I don't quite understand is this deal with the remote control device,
Well, the lieutenant thinks it might have launched the arrow that killed Valentine.
Yeah, well, how'd you end up with it?
I don't know. It was all in the commotion. Valentine was lying there dead, and People are screaming, and all of a sudden I felt something drop by me on the floor. Right there on the floor. It was the remote.
I'll tell you what, why don't we skip lunch? Then you go back to the hotel and get some rest. I'll get cracking on this thing.
Houston, I didn't do it.
We think the arrow was launched electronically. And when Valentine was killed, your lady friend was standing over there with this remote control device by her feet. And we have an eyewitness. That's her, Vera Martin.
Oh, thanks, Vince. Yeah, excuse me. My name's Matthew.
Yes, I know. Houston, you are Christina's friend.
That's right.
I'm glad she has someone like you to stand by her.
Well, thank you.
You know, I feel terrible about having to tell the police. You know, I saw the clicker by her feet.
Yeah, well, of course you did. I tell you, I need to ask you a question. Can you tell me what kind of man Valentine St. Clair was?
Passionate, explosive, moody. Well, you see, he was an artist.
Yeah, well, if he wasn't an artist, could it be construed as rude and obnoxious and downright unlikable?
Well, he wasn't an easy person to get along with. But you see, for me, well, I know it might sound corny, to learn at the feet of a master, well, I guess there's still some old-fashioned hero worship in me. I'll miss him.
Yeah, who won't miss him?
I'm not going to swallow any more red ink. Now, if they want to sue, then I'm going to declare bankruptcy. Then they're going to have to wait till the middle of the month to get paid. That's their choice.
Before you ask, that's Mr. Garth, Valentine's partner.
Yeah, will he miss him?
Well, everyone knows that they had their differences. Well, the real screaming was with his wife, Valeska Debraken, over the divorce. She was in the audience yesterday when he was killed.
Houston figured he'd better track down St. Clair's ex-wife, Valeska Debraken. He found her at the Psychic Research Institute, which she owns. It's a strange place with an even stranger owner.
Thinking of the pattern, and only the pattern, and hearing only the sound of my voice. No other sounds intrude, no other images, only the image of the pattern. It fills your mind.
Well, would you look at that? That's fantastic.
At age 7, I fell from a ladder, struck my head, and from that time on, have possessed powers. I'm trying in this institute to explain them.
Well, that's all very interesting, but we were talking about Valentine, your husband, rather your ex-husband.
And the divorce.
Right.
Yes. Well, it was a marriage of convenience. At the time, we needed each other. It was a marriage in name only. We each went our separate ways.
Well, folks have been saying that you two were doing an awful lot of shouting, that things were getting a little bitter.
Valentine lived his life at the top of his voice, but I really fail to see how I can help your client, Mr. Houston. I was one of those who heard her threaten to kill my husband.
Yeah, well, you were at the showing yesterday. Why was that?
To wish Valentine luck. I still do own a piece of the company. It helps fund my research. What?
Yeah, well, after seeing this and the cards on the table and everything, it does kind of lead me to believe that you know a thing or two about showbiz.
It is not show business, Mr. Houston. This institute is world-renowned. Our works are supported by donations from every country in the free world.
Yeah, well, I'm sure there's something to it, but see, I already gave it the office.
Something to it! That sundial. I think it's a bit slow. Tricks, Mr. Houston. Magicians and jesters perform tricks. We are refining powers that are within the greatest powerful equipment ever made, the human mind. And now I think you'd better go.
Okay. I'll just let myself out. CJ, now I'm less than partial to being shot at, and I'd just as soon we find out who did it before they try it again.
Well, let's see if Baby did the homework I assigned for her.
Let her rip.
Marvin Garth, former accountant. About 4 years ago, he poured everything he had into St. Clair's company. Now, the profits are marginal, but Mr. Garth is living a mite high on the hog.
How high?
Bankruptcy high. Until St. Clair's death, he is now the sole beneficiary of a $1 million life insurance policy.
Well, $1 million is a good reason for murder.
You bet. You sure are glad to see her, aren't you?
Who?
Squeaky.
Next picture, CJ.
Vera Martin, about 2 years ago, she became St. Clair's assistant. Very talented, very ambitious lady. Some people say that she's a lot more talented than her late unlamented boss.
Well, ambitious ladies have been known to kill before. What's next?
Valeska Debrican, St. Clair's ex-wife.
Oh, yeah, well, you can cross her off your list. I tell you, this lady does not need an electronic gizmo to kill.
Mind control tricks?
Yeah, I mean, I saw that lady do some things that give a whole new meaning to the word spooky.
Does it now? Are you sure it wasn't just an illusion? Houston, she used to be in showbiz. Before she launched that Psychic Institute, she was a hypnotist. Used to call herself Madame Valeska.
Now, wait a minute. What are you trying to tell? You mean you're trying to tell me that I didn't really see what I saw and that she planted all that in my mind?
Well, let me put it to you this way, Houston. There are some women that can make a man think just about anything they want. Speaking of which, why don't you tell me about Squeaky, Rooster? Were you engaged or what?
Can I be real honest with you, CJ?
Shoot.
All right. I'll tell you something. I have only really loved, and I mean really loved, once in my life. It was so complete, so deep. I just don't think I'm ever going to be able to match that again.
Christina's that good?
Christina? I'm talking about Rupert. My frog.
Houston, where are you going now?
To a fashion show.
You mean to see Squeaky, don't you?
Hold that elevator!
He did it again.
I don't believe I'm going to forget what that man looks like.
Houston, you have got to read these merger papers. We are already 1 week late.
Well, Murray, what are we wasting our time on this puny little merger for when Rupert so desperately needs your help?
Rupert.
What firm is he with?
Rupert's a frog that won't jump, which might mean you're in a lot of trouble, Murray.
Me? Trouble? I never even met the frog.
Well, you'll like him. I tell you what, you find the world's best frog expert and you put him in touch with me pronto.
But Houston,
No buts, Murray. Now, as soon as we get old Rupert jumping straight, then we'll talk about this little merger.
Houston, where do I find a frog jumping expert?
Call a frog.
Christina Berenson is wearing the most opulent slither of a black dress, covered with its own chiffon stole, edged in feathers. The dress underneath is a shaft of feminine brilliance. Slip the stole down, and the world is treated to the most exciting woman alive.
Renee! Renee! Honey, go find Renee. She's gonna miss her cue.
Both Lamé, wondrous.
Should have stayed in accounting.
Oh, there, Mr. Guard. This seems like an awful lot of trouble. I mean, how much could the Valentine label be worth now that St. Clair's dead?
As long as Vera's around, everything is fine. See, Vera is great. She's the one that designed most of last year's bestsellers. Just that Valentine got all the credit.
Well, if that's the case, Valentine's death is a pretty good break for you. And
let's not get ridiculous. Fact of the matter is, St. Clair and I took out duplicate insurance policies, naming each other as the beneficiary. That's a very common practice between partners. Yes, Houston, I need money, but not enough to kill for it. Excuse me.
The look of bugle beads sparkle, bedazzle, and dazzle.
Christina?
They look at this woman as if to say, she's a tiger, she's alive, she's vital. She moves into your life with the same romantic, beautiful opulence, the brightest flower. Our next model wears the Renaissance sleeve, the above-the-table romance of that lady says, I'm a woman. I'm proud to be a woman. I'm glad to be alive. Black chiffon, soft and gold.
Are you all right?
No, I'm not all right. If I was all right, I never would have left Texas and sold my ranch. And came out here, California. I'm feeling a little better now.
Ecco qua. A beautiful antipasto for a beautiful lady.
Oh, thank you, Mrs. Novelli.
Oh, all my friends call me Mama. And you're my friend, Belitza.
Thank you, Mama.
So, friend to friend, what's the secret, huh? I use all the same makeup as you do. Hey, how come you look like that and I look like this, huh? Huh? Hey, but 30 years ago, ooh, I'd have given you a run for your money. Hey, and my son Vince wants to see you in the back.
Yeah, I'll be right there, Mom.
How can you be so calm? You were almost killed.
Well, the only thing I'm concerned with right now is finding a killer.
It never would have happened if you hadn't been trying to help me. What I'd like to say to you is thanks.
Listen, would Rooster ever desert Squeaky? I mean, really, think about it.
Houston, no matter what happens, promise me you'll always remember how beautiful it was between us.
I'll be right back. Don't you move. Vince, Mama said you... Well, it can't be that bad.
What?
Well, whatever it is that's making you frown and smushing up your face like that.
Houston, I know you care for that girl. And what I got to say is not going to make you happy.
You better go on, Vince.
How long has it been since you've seen her, and what was she doing in between?
Well, it's been a few years since we've seen each other, and she's been doing a little traveling.
Wrong. Up to 6 months ago, she was living with Valentine St. Clair.
Bitch. That's impossible.
Is it? Well, she needed him. He needed her. She moved in. 3 years later, they had a big fight. She moved out, met the congressman, wanted to marry him, only St. Clair wouldn't let her out of her contract. Threatened to dump the whole story on the congressman.
Houston, CJ's on the phone. She says it's urgent.
I'm sorry, Houston. She's been lying to you. Let me ask you another thing. How'd you get so lucky to be backstage just in time for that lamp to almost drop on your head? Someone took a shot at you to boot.
Vince, you better give me some time to prove that you're wrong.
Okay, tomorrow there's a buyer's brunch. Then everybody's gonna scatter to the 4 winds. By then, the lab boys will be able to tell me if the clicker in your client's hand triggered the arrow. If so, I've got to arrest her.
Hello, CJ.
Houston, I think you better come home. Valeska Debrakin is here, and she says she knows who killed her husband. Bye-bye.
It was Vera Martin, my husband's assistant or protege. As much as she said she loved him, I know he was going to fire her.
Oh, this is another one of your psychic revelations?
No, actually. I was going through my husband's things. He typically dictated notes to himself. Take a haircut, do this, do that. Fire Vera. Oh, and he had that vindictive streak in his voice, too. When he said fire Vera, he meant ruin Vera. He would have done it, too. And she had to know it. In a way, I really can't blame her.
Well, thank you, Miss Valeska. I will make sure that Lieutenant Novelli gets this evidence right away.
Oh, I knew you would.
Yeah, my secretary will see you out.
I know.
Well, I'll tell you, the ingredients we've got in this Valentine mess, we could stir up a whole pot of Texas chili.
Well, I've got a hunk of pepper to drop in the pot, which I just found out about an hour ago. Now, apparently Valentine used to like to have his European show about a month after his American show. It was canceled this year.
Well, who canceled it?
His partner, Garth, the day before Valentine was murdered.
Well, it kind of sounds like our budget-minded ex-accountant figured a way he could save $1 or $2 if he knew Valentine wasn't going to be around in a month.
The thought had crossed my mind. By the way, it's your shot.
Yeah, so that gives us Vera, Christina, and Garth. They've all got Mom.
Mom?
Yeah. See, that's method, opportunity, and motive. If you see, Garth inherits the business and $1 million worth of insurance money, and Vera gets to keep her job.
And becomes head designer.
And that brings us to Christina.
Houston, our clients are never guilty unless you know something I don't know.
Well, you better get rested up because we've got an awful big day tomorrow. I need you to do a couple things for me. First, find out who's been sending the flowers to Vera. Second, I want you to get dressed up in your best bib and tucker and meet me at the buyer's party. Because I think it's about time we started stirring a few of these folks up.
I think it's time you tried to make a good shot.
Yeah, well, I haven't got a shot.
There is no such thing as a frog jumping expert, at least not in this metropolitan area. There is, however, someone in Moss's Marsh, Florida, who is recognized as an authority.
Well, send a plane, Murray.
He only comes out of the Okefenokee at flood season, and the last flood was 1974.
Hey, wait a minute. Are you trying to tell me we can't find him?
Some say he's not a man at all, but merely a legend. Walking the swamp when the moon...
Murray, what is that?
I can save you the reading. There are only 2 ways to make a frog jump. Food or a predator. No tricks. There's no pep talk you can give him. They never heard of the Gipper, and they don't know from God and Country. Here's your shot.
Where?
2-ball combination, 12-ball in the corner. I'm not just another pretty face, you know.
While I was checking out the florist to see who sent the flowers to Vera, Houston was off to the buyer's brunch to do some buying in his own fashion. Oh, I wish I hadn't said that.
Why, Mr. Houston, how nice to see you.
Well, thank you. Boy, you're looking pretty enough to be one of the models.
What's the Texas word for flatterer?
True.
You know, it's such a shame that Mr. Valentine isn't here to see all of this. We've had over $2 million worth of bookings.
Yeah, well, if he was here, you wouldn't be, right?
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, the truth is he was going to fire you, Vera. And then he was going to destroy your name in the industry, right? Now, you've got to admit, Vera, that's a pretty strong motive for murder, isn't it?
He'd been promising me a partnership. And then he wouldn't come through. Of course he was going to ruin me. He wouldn't let me leave and compete against him. So he was planning to destroy my name to save his.
Well, I guess you don't have to worry about that now, do you?
Excuse me, Vera. Suzanne seems to be having a problem down there, and she said you're the only one that could solve it. Could you run back there for a second?
Gladly. This conversation has ended anyway.
Mr. Houston, I wish you wouldn't bother Vera.
Well, listen, I just wanted to ask her a couple of questions. Which brings me to you. I need to ask you a couple, too. First one being, why did you cancel the European showing?
The show is going far over budget. I felt that the money could be better used elsewhere.
Yes and no. Yes, I know that. See, the trouble is that you canceled it the day before Valentine died.
Mr. Houston, I don't like your tone. And I don't see why I should carry on this conversation any further.
Isn't that silly?
Excuse me,
Mr. Houston, what a surprise. Excuse me.
I didn't really know that psychics could get surprised.
Well, I simply meant that I didn't expect to see you here.
I didn't really expect to see you here either.
Most of these people are my friends. After all, I was married to Valentine for 7 years.
Yes, no, and just 6 months after you were married, you retired from your stage career, Madame Valeska. You see, I'm really curious to find out why you switched from your nightclub hypnotist act to your mind reading.
I don't like what you're thinking. Good day, Mr. Houston. Houston. Houston.
Did you find out who was sending the flowers to Vera?
Yes, I did.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am happy to announce that the proud tradition, the trend-setting designs of Valentine St. Clair fashions will live on through the enormous talent of his own protege, Vera Martin.
Thank you very much. And now, to whet your appetites for next season, I have a small preview. Christina, if you please.
You know, I'll bet you old Garth is Vera's secret admirer. You should have seen the look he shot me when I challenged her.
think he's in love. He just might be in love enough to protect her. Maybe even enough to kill Valentine for her.
Good motive, wrong suspect, Houston. You're not gonna like this. Vera's secret admirer?
Christina.
Right. Sorry, Houston, but it's beginning to look more and more like she's the one who killed Valentine.
Christina, I do not want you lying to me anymore.
I'm not lying to you, Houston. I wouldn't do that. Not to you.
Since when, now?
Christina, those flower arrangements, you bought them with your credit card. I saw the receipts.
Yes, I bought them, CJ. But I am not Vera's secret admirer. Garth asked me to buy those flowers for Vera. He's so shy and, well, he's very much in love with her.
Christina, what was it you told me you've been doing for the last couple of years?
Traveling.
Wrong. You weren't.
I was living with Valentine up until a couple of months ago when I met Brian. I couldn't tell him about Valentine, and I didn't want to tell you because I didn't think you would help me.
You didn't think I was going to help you? Christina, I thought that we meant a little more to each other than that.
Hello? Hold on. It's Vince.
Hello, Vince.
How you doing, Houston? Where's Christina?
Well, I'm not really sure, Vince. The last time I saw her was at the buyer's party. Why?
Yeah, well, I'm in her dressing room, and I'm sorry to tell you this, my friend, but we found enough evidence to book her for murder one. Found the stuff on the cushion.
How convenient.
Yeah, well, the wires match and the remote matches. That's a schematic of the actual work done. It matches.
Christina's innocent. Now, Vince, this 7 proves it. You tell her what I'm thinking?
I see the number 7.
Right. Now, I'm thinking Americans don't put slashes in them. Europeans do. So do you.
And you're thinking that I planted the drawing in Christina's dressing room.
Bingo. I'm also thinking that a handwriting specialist is going to be able to prove that you made those drawings. Prove that you murdered your husband.
He would have destroyed this. All of it. If the divorce settlement came through, they were going to sell this land.
I hope you're not asking for sympathy. This lady, you're a killer.
Hold it. Right there.
You're not entirely factual when you were describing the murder of my husband. I had help, Mr. Houston.
I would imagine it was for the same reason, money, right?
That's right. Now that Valentine is dead, Valeska gets to keep the Institute. And I get all the insurance money plus the company.
We were a team in the best sense, Mr. Houston. I planned the murder. Garth carried it out.
It was all a trick. Just like everything here, a trick, right?
Don't make the mistake of underestimating me, Mr. Houston. The mind is an extremely powerful instrument. You'd be surprised what mine is capable of. But then you remember we talked about the mind, its potential, how the mind is susceptible to suggestions, some more so than others. We have a problem, don't we? You know that we killed Valentine, but you're not going to tell anyone, are you? Look at me, Mr. Houston. Here. Take the gun. Take the gun! Now, Mr. Houston, look at me. Put the gun to your head. Isn't it a shame that when you discovered your beloved Christina was guilty, you decided to take your own life? Now, pull the trigger, Mr. Houston.
All right, the party's over, Witchy Poo. I believe this is what you call a Mexican standoff.
Your power is stronger than I thought, Mr. Houston. But I'm afraid your gun isn't loaded. If you don't believe me, try it. Pull the trigger.
Sometimes her witch stuff works, and sometimes it doesn't. Now it's my turn.
Oh, now, wait a minute. Look, before you shoot me, I want to tell you something. See, since I was here the other day, I've been practicing. You see that sundial there? Watch this.
Get up off of there. Come on.
I'm tired of picking you up.
Stop right there, Houston.
Oh, come on, Valeska. I'm tired of your games. I'm too tuckered out. I don't want to play anymore.
You may be tired, but the mind is never tired. It works even while you sleep.
Is there a point to this lecture?
Look above us, Mr. Houston.
Oh, this is a bunch of hogwash. Now, I believed it once, but I'm not going to believe it again. Now, you come out of there. Now, come on, just get out of there. Come on. Listen, you got to quit scaring people with all this mumbo-jumbo stuff. I mean, it really frightens some of them. And it's just not good.
I remember the first time you brought me here. I never wanted to leave.
It was a different time, wasn't it?
I'm not so sure I want to leave now.
If you stay, you'll never really know, will you?
What do you mean?
You know anything about frogs?
I hate frogs.
on. Look at your clothes and your set.
See, Christina,
I love frogs.
Bye, Rooster.
Bye, Squeaky.
Ready? Go! Come on! Come on, Ready! Go! The other way! Anyway, just jump! Ready! Come on, Ready! Before you can go! First, Ready! Ready, go! Come on, Ready! Go! Go! Whoa! Rupert! Did you see that jump? I've never seen a jump like that ever. My golly, that ain't possible.
Well, boys, I can't tell a lie. I do have a secret weapon. I want you to meet Hildegard. Now, being the official holder of the earnings, I'm going to announce that Houston and Rupert are the winners.
Well, that's cheating. Using a female to lure a critter on. I don't know. I never seen any rules written down about it.
Pretty slick item, Miss Parsons.
You know something, Houston? There's an old saying. You gotta kiss a lot of frogs before you meet your prince.
Ribbit.